All right. Don't watch the Borderlands movie. Anyway, um,
No, that's PG, like, bruh.
we'll get into it. We got a bunch of stuff. I got a bunch of stuff this week.
No,
Well,
I'm just
kind
saying,
of
like,
this week, but
the game's at MA for a reason.
um, but we can just roll on the intro before we get any started. What's up, beardies and beardettes? Welcome back to another fine episode of the Beardy Bros podcast. No mucking around with that intro. Um, yes, I have seen the movie, and I would
Oh
100%
no.
say do not watch it. It is a waste of time. Um, they just fuck up the movie completely.
Yeah, because it's not Borderlands.
No, it's 100% not Borderlands.
It's just the character names. That's about it.
Basically, like Krieg is literally dumb in this movie. They make him like a walking caveman. Uh,
Well, it's meant to appeal to younger demographic, which Borderlands shouldn't.
they just fucked everything up. I mean, Royland's short. Like
I mean, yeah, because Roland's like the biggest fucking character in the fucking game,
he's 5'11".
and yet Kevin Hart's fucking.
They basically acknowledge that in the first like 5 minutes of the movie, because he's rescuing Tina out of the and again she's referred to as Tina, not Tiny Tina. So that's the other plot point
Yeah, well,
as
she
well.
was Tina originally, right?
She was Tiny Tina in the games.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
So
But she has good casting though. Like she looks just fucking like
that's
Tiny Tina.
basically spot on. So basically, I'm gonna basically most probably spoil the movie. I
There's
don't
not
think
much.
that
It's fucking Borderlands. Like they just.
it doesn't even deserve to be like a spoiler warning or anything. I mean, I'll give a spoiler warning for those that may want to watch it. But I
How do you
highly doubt it.
spoil a warning Borderlands? It's like just.
So they've changed everything. Lilith is definitely older. Uh, Tennis, she's older. That's the scientist. Moxie is definitely older. They make it out that
Mad Moxie.
Tannis and Mad Moxie knows Lilith's mother, where in the games we don't even get reference to Lilith's mother at all.
Yeah.
But Tannis and
Well, it's
but
not as far as we know. I haven't played three
well,
yet,
in
so.
the game, Tannis and Lilith are basically the same age. But how they play it in the movie is that Tannis is a friend of her mother's, and she basically raised
Yeah, but that's
Lilith.
not based on the games though.
No,
That's loosely based on the games.
well, this is loosely based, all right. They made Tina
Uh,
Tina's the plot point. She's a clone, so
of who?
of the Iridiums, the ancient alien species that created the vaults.
Maybe we're all fucking ready. What in the fuck?
Yeah. Somewhere along the line, Star Wars exists in the Borderlands universe because while they're fighting in the first 10 minutes of the movie, he takes out a guard and he goes, "You're a pretty dumb." I can't remember what it says, but he goes, you're a bad excuse of a stormtrooper." It's just like, why did you have to bring up stormtroopers? Why did you have to reference stormtroopers? So clearly, somewhere along the line, Star Wars exists in the universe. So that was kind of a cheap gimmick, you
Yeah,
know.
probably the actual movies exist there.
Yeah, I'm like, that's kind of weird. So there's all these different things that just go on in the movie that just keep making the movie
Hang
bad.
on. So if they reference that, that had to be in collaboration with fucking or unless they paid big money just to use that fucking reference.
Well, I mean, people can reference names of some stuff without having to normally pay a large sum. Like you can name drop stuff, but half the time
Yeah,
when
but
you
a
acknowledge,
stormtrooper though.
yeah, when you well, like they don't even look like a stormtrooper, but he calls him a stormtrooper. And it's just like that word is technically only labeled as a Star Wars reference. So the fact that they've mentioned that
I
means
mean,
that
stormtroopers are in other things as well, but
mm.
as other enemies and that. But like, just
So yeah, there's so much things that goes on. So
I
basically,
think there's a stormtrooper in the Borderlands game somewhere. Actually,
I think it was an Easter egg, most probably. I think they had it set up.
I mean, I've only played little Borderlands, but
But like that makes sense when there's a game doing it compared to a movie doing it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
when it's
the movie makes no sense. Like, unless the
well,
movies exist in their universe, like,
it's a weird plot. Royland's rescuing Tina from the clutches of Atlas.
Roland, not Royland.
Royland. Well, who really cares? You know what I mean? He's not even the same fucking character. He's whatever height Kevin Hart is. He's trying to free her while
Yeah, I
he's
think that was the joke though. They cast him because of his height.
it makes no sense. It's so stupid. It just doesn't fit whatsoever. It's just plot point is Tina's the daughter of Atlas, but he created her as a clone from the vault. Like there was a bit of blood on the vault fragment from the thing, and then he cloned that blood, which is an iridium. There's that. Roland fucking rescues her from Atlas, but he's an Atlas employee. While they're escaping, Krieg is friends with Tina, so then he comes along with the thing, and then they bump into Lilith, and Lilith is trying to she's a bounty hunter, so she's trying to rescue Tina for Atlas.
Has any one of the people who made that movie played a game of like a Borderlands game?
That's what I mean. And then the fact that you meet these characters, and then
It sounds like the Halo show all over again.
oh, it's just so bad. And then all these characters are saying things, but then Lilith knows like characters, and then Roland's seeing characters, but then Lilith knows characters and their mutual connections of their mother, but then the characters are the same age as her, and then other characters have raised her.
Characters do know each other in the games though. But
oh yeah. But they made like Tannis, but like I was saying, Tannis is the same age as Lilith in the games, right? But in the movie, they made Tannis older, and she's about the same age as apparently how they explain it as her mother, and Tannis raised Lilith as a child because the mother disappeared or died or whatever.
Yeah, that's definitely using their own fucking canon there. Like,
and then Mad Moxie knows Lilith's mum, and she goes, "You remind." And there's a line where they're talking when they go see her, and she's like, "You don't remember me, but I remember you, and you remind me of your mother," and all this bullshit. They're trying to put like this mother angle on for Lilith, and she's like, "Oh, woe is me," you know. And then she's older as it is, because she's like, I've been doing this business as a bounty hunter for X amount of time, you know, and she's kind of contemplating retirement.
You know from the fucking trailer where this movie was heading.
Like, she's thinking of retiring as a bounty hunter, so that already puts her at an older age, because she's like, I've been doing this for years, but then she's it's like... And then Claptrap was like, I don't know...
Roland's there, and he didn't age.
And this is the first time they met,
and Tina's still a kid, but yet she's older. Like, what?
It's just there's
like
so much.
If it's a past, if it's a future thing, that will be older.
Yeah,
not just her.
But it's like it's their own prequel setup. Like it's
that was Jamie Lee Curtis, wasn't it? She was playing
Tannis, yeah. But it was just like the whole setup for that was like, oh, we got to.
Kate Blanchett's playing Lilith, right?
Yeah, Lilith. But like, what gets me though is
that's
like
bad casting.
But like, okay, but imagine this is the premise. This is the premise.
I mean,
imagine we're talking,
sense, but not fucking Tannis.
Like her homeworld is Lilith's homeworld is Pandora. So you know that's her
that's
home
where
world.
the games take place.
She would presumably, if you had a homeworld and everyone lived there, no one really left, and everyone kind of like did their thing, you would presumably know names, right? You know, whether you left and you came back, if someone named off someone,
you would know names, not necessarily faces, but you would know of someone.
Yeah, well, if someone, if you were in the similar division of whatever you did, say, Jimmy fucking ran a pawn shop, and that's what basically kind of did all your life growing up on that planet.
Basis,
you would know as being you'd be Jimmy the pawn dealer you'd go to fucking get all the goods and the wares. So you'd be in that vein. So basically that happens as a premise of that with Tannis in the movie, where it's just like, oh, we gotta go see Tannis, and then it's just like, oh, okay, and Lilith doesn't know anything. It's just like, oh, yeah, whatever. There's no there's no name acknowledgement or whatever with the name, and then they get there and she goes, oh, it's you. And then it's like, I don't want to deal with you, blah, 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 blah. And then there's this whole thing being like, I know you, I raised you and all the bullshit.
Literally, it's fucking plot armor.
Yeah, it's just like stupid plot armor. It's just like, you don't know the name, but then you see the person, you go, oh, that's that person. It's like, they literally said the name. We got to go see such and such. Like, we got to see Tannis. Wouldn't you be like, oh, I think I know a Tannis? And then you see them be like, oh, I'm surprised that it's you. It's just like, they mentioned the name. Like, it's like, imagine being like, I knew you had the pawn shop, and I'm like, oh,
mention a name, it's gonna be them.
Go to Jimmy's pawn shop, okay? Go there, be like, oh my god, it's Jimmy. It's like, well, no, shit, it's Jimmy. Like, it's his fucking. Who do you think he got? Like, it's just like things like that happen. It's just stupid.
I'll watch it just. I'm a Borderlands fan. Like, I'll watch it just once.
Visually, atmospherically, costume design, and like gunplay, Borderlands. Like
Yeah, it's
that's
just
all
a fucking
Borderlands.
story. Like,
Story, character, actual character, like personality, shit like that, just garbage. It's complete horseshit. Like
yeah.
it's just dumb and bad. And then just how the attitude characters have, where they're just like, "Oh, I'm so self-entitled" and all this
No,
kind of
because
bullshit.
what you play Borderlands for is the humor and the gunplay.
Yeah, and
The humor is part of the story. And the fact that this movie is for teens.
the humor is pretty bad too, because there's like it literally has teen attitude, because there's like a car
That's what I
scene that
mean, because like Borderlands is like nearly rated R because
it's
of
so
the
dumb.
humor
It's
and
like
the violence.
there's a part where they're driving through a. It literally is a piss cloud, but there's this whole toxic cloud
Piss cloud.
they're driving through, and they're driving through it, and Roland's like to Tina, wind up the window, and she's like, I don't want to wind up the window, and he's like, you better wind up the window. She's like, I don't want to, and then piss cloud comes through, covered in piss, and it's just like, I better wind up the window now. I'm covered in piss. So it's just like it's literally like that. It's just like, well, no shit. Like I'm a self-entitled child. I'm not going to listen to an adult. You know, it's literally playing on the
Gearbox does write like that, but they do it better.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Like, there's a lot of that kind of shit that happens.
Like, look at fucking Claptrap in the games. He does the opposite, and it's like, well, I should have done that.
Yeah,
but it's fucking funny. Like,
exactly. Like, there's a difference to it, and that's the problem. Like, it's really like obvious. Everything they're doing is very obvious. It's very predictable. Claptrap is just like annoying. It's
because Jack Black.
It's
like,
Jack Black, but like
he probably got paid to be an annoying because he is annoying. Claptrap is a pain in the ass.
But like you get Jack Black, but then you put a Claptrap filter over his voice anyway. So like, what's the point? You could just say Claptrap. Like that's the weird
thing
part.
is, as a voice actor, that's all it was. They could have had the original voice actor who did Claptrap to play Claptrap.
100%, because they put, like I said, they put a voice filter over Claptrap anyway.
They put a filter over that sound like Claptrap. Just get the original fucking.
And that's what got me. And then half the stuff is like, okay, it's typical Claptrap, but at the same time, it's just like.
Unless all their budget went to Jack Black and.
It's just cringe. Like there's another scene where it's like different.
Well, we can't get no one else.
Well, it's stereotypical lines. It's just like, oh, everyone's got to walk off to the next frame, like leave the room, close the door, and it's just like, Claptrap. It's like, oh, you've left me out. Open the door. Door opens, Claptrap goes through. Like, they're getting all the typical stuff that we've seen in the games that are like typically scripted.
But worse.
It's like, oh no, there's stairs. I can't get down here. It's just like, oh shit. Like, it's very like I say, it's for kids basically. Like, it's dumb humor that's just very predictable. Like,
considering
plots,
kids don't play Borderlands, like. They really, I mean, we did back in the day, but like, it's just like now.
And then even like the level of just like, this is another thing got me right, is they're just like, they're in a scene where they go see Mad Moxie, and Mad Moxie's like telling them, oh, you gotta, like, they bring up the map, and she's like, you gotta go down here, this is the stairs you gotta get to this secret. It's like, you gotta go to these stairs here, go up there, that's where you'll find the thing, you know. And then they go. Then what happens is there's an altercation that happens in the bar. They leave the back of. This is what makes no sense. Is they're at Mad Moxie's, and they're like, "This is where you need to go to." Leave the bar. The stairs are literally like at the back of Mad Moxie's. What's the point of having the whole fucking? We need to escape. This is where you need to go to, and then the stairs are like literally at the back of Mad Moxie's. It's like, what the fuck is going on? They literally go outside, and then they go to the thing, and then like they're like, you got to use the password, and she's like hits the door, and she's like echo, and then Tina's just like, oh no, it's got to be an echo, so she's like presses the button, she goes echo, and then the door opens up. It's just like, what the fuck is this shit? And then they catch an elevator, like typical game elevator, where it's like a loading sequence, which is a long ass fucking elevator. I'm like, what is this shit? There's just different shit through the whole movie. Like, it's just stupid plot points, stupid mechanics, stupid. Like, it's just so bad. Unbelievably bad.
Oh, I just want to watch it just to see what it is. Like, it's like it sounds Borderlands, but also it's just written bad.
Like, if they 100%, if they just made new, like, if they had the actors that they wanted, they could have kept Jack Black as Claptrap, but if they had, like, Kevin Hart as a new character.
If you're going to voice filter him, why have Jack Black?
That's what I mean. But either way, like, if you're going to have that, that's fine. But if you had, like, if you introduced, like, have Kevin Hart playing a new character, I mean, you could have got away with having Krieg being Krieg. That wasn't a big issue, except they played him dumb. But if you had like Kate
He
Blanchett as
kind of
like
is dumb, but not as you described.
yeah, like he's just caveman dumb. But but then you could have had like fucking Kate Blanchett as someone else. Like didn't have to be specifically Lilith. You could have made a new character, and the movie would have been fine. If they had new characters, because that's what
I don't know
Borderlands
why they
does.
chose the game characters, because in each game they're different characters.
Yeah, and they're all Vault Hunters trying to be, or bounty hunters trying to do their own
Yeah,
thing.
all they had to do was make their own characters, their own story, and it would have been fine.
100%, because then they could have gone with that whole Mad Moxie knows such and such's mother, or Tannis knows such
Anyone you
and
can
such
keep
mother.
his claptrap because he's just
Yeah.
claptrap. He's in every fucking game.
Like 100%, if they just changed Kevin Hart's character to a new character and Lilith and Kate Blanchett as Lilith to someone else, the movie would have been fine.
And Tina or someone else, so it's not
even that.
clone Tina.
Or could have been or made it where Tina was a clone of Tina. You know what I mean? They could have gone with that route.
Still,
either.
That's fucked up.
But you know what I mean, though. Like just that premise alone is such a simple change, and the movie would have been a lot better. I mean, it would have been maybe like I personally give it like a 3 out of 10. But like if they changed those two characters around, that maybe been a 6. You know what I mean? Like it would have excused the story because
no, that writing sounds fucking horrible.
That's what I'm saying. If it was better writing, it would have been like a 7 or an 8. You know what I mean?
Like the characters, I can't give two shits about. Like they're just characters, but like that writing.
But
like you said, it was
it's just literally just goofy shit. Like it's just they're trying to put slapstick.
I don't know how to deal with that.
Where slapstick doesn't need like you know what I mean? Because they're trying to get that slapstick humor, that TikTok humor, in places where it's not written properly. Like it's just like, what are you doing? Like you could have thought this out a bit better. But I fell asleep watching a bit of it, and then I've gone back watched a few little scenes here and there. But yeah, I watched it this morning and I fell asleep. So. But yeah, no, the ending was just so Van Blastic kind of left open for a sequel. Because it's just like, oh, we found the keys, but we haven't found the vault yet. And it's just like, okay, we get it. You want to try and make a second, but it's not going to happen. Like they're not. It's not going to get greenlit at all.
I mean, if they do, they better have someone else directing and writing,
but
producing. Like they have to someone who's played the fucking games and know their shit.
Like all they need, like yeah, exactly.
And let you change the characters.
Like that's all they had to do from the get go was just change the characters around, and it would have been fine. But I don't know. It's one of those things. Like it's just getting. It literally is getting bad reviews, and I can see why. Like I've firsthand watched
after we've had the
just
amazing Twisted Metal, Last of Us, Fallout. Now we're back to Borderlands, like, Halo. Like
personally, when I was watching Borderlands, it made Halo a little bit more palatable. That's the crazy part.
Fuck, that's a fucking effort.
That it made, the fact that it made, well, at least the first season in my mind, more palatable. Like it made, it just felt like Halo's first season was more close to the source material than what this Borderlands movie was. Like it's just fucking ridiculous. Like I don't know what they were thinking. 100% do not know what they were thinking.
I don't fucking know. I'm still intrigued to watch it though.
I would say give it a watch, but not at a full price cost. So.
Not at a full price cost. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense, yeah. I mean, I still buy it when it comes out.
That I can understand. That buying it when it comes out, that's a different story because at least you're going to own it. So you can own a paperweight of shit rather than, just going to the movies, watching it, and then being
if kids want to watch something to put on fucking Borderlands.
Basically, yeah. It's an interesting take. It's,
Oh, Gearbox help with it.
Yeah.
Gearbox Studios was on the fucking opening.
Yeah. They got typical Borderlands tracks. They've got the fucking everything kind of. They tried as hard to try and feel like Borderlands. The biggest thing is if they just changed the characters, I reckon the movie would have been a whole lot better.
Although, I mean, it looks hella Borderlands though. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I said it looks like Borderlands. The aesthetic.
It's just that fucking writing I'm not looking forward to.
No, the aesthetic they got was good, but just the writing is just cringy. And the characters kind of be like semi-self-aware, but they're not self-aware. It's very weird to explain.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Like, it's just, Like Tina's very self-aware of her purpose kind of deal. It's just like, You know, I'm the real child. I'm a clone. Blah, 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 blah. I'm the best. You know, I gotta do the thing. We gotta find the vaults, and we're gonna do it because I'm the
That's what
one
I
that's
think
gonna
about
keep.
Deadpool and Wolverine. Like it doesn't look bad or anything. The way it's written in parts, it's
Yeah.
like,
So, well, I mean, but that's the difference. Like, at least, like, with Deadpool Wolverine, like, that's the take they were going for. Like, that's the approach they wanted, that whole a little fourth wall stuff. So, I mean, at least you know that's what they were
like
going
I'm just
for.
laughing at everyone who
But,
called it the movie that saved Marvel. I'm like,
I mean, in sense, it kind of maybe did, when you
delusional
compare,
man. Fuck.
what they did after Endgame, you know what I mean? So you had Endgame, and then you kind of dropped down, so
After
kind of,
Endgame, so had some good shit.
so, you know, it's kind of,
Mostly bad.
that's what I'm saying. So I can kind of see where people have been like,
Like Shang-Chi
you
is
know,
still better than that. Like Shang-Chi is still an amazing movie. Like
well, Shang-Chi is a serious movie too. Like, it's a proper serious, funny. Like, it's well balanced. Deadpool Wolverine was just funny. Like, it's
Guardians
just
of the
comedic.
Galaxy 1, 2, and 3 are better than anything else they've done.
And then that was
Like
Guns. So
Guardians 3 was just 10 out of 10.
yeah. Well, again, that, like I said, that was Gun. So you can't go wrong with Gun.
Yeah, right.
I want to speak a few other things. So if those that have watched the
It's like
socials,
Guardians literally saved them because that was at the fucking low point.
well, that's it. That was in between. That was in that balance of, like, when it was like started to drop and it kind of bounced it back up and then went down again because of the shows and stuff like that. Um, but I want to mention the socials. Those that haven't seen it,
Faithful.
I put up on the Instagram and on the YouTubes. Jack
Yes.
Carlson, the succulent Chinese meal.
Yes.
He passed away sadly, aged 82 last week.
That's crazy. Like it just happened, just bam, like out of nowhere.
So that was.
We've been doing all these interviews lately, and then he just passes. Like,
yeah,
shit.
he was working on like a documentary or something like that, and things like that.
Yeah, or he just wanted to do his mail and paint.
So that's it. So,
Create art he wanted to do, and
that's what he did.
Actually did.
What else was there? And also, bringing back. Speaking of Jack Black, he announced that he's going to be. They're back on track to looking at reorganizing the tour, possibly for
because
year.
he overreacted.
Well, they had it. They sat back, they assessed the situation, and worked things out.
It wasn't that bad.
No, but at least they were like, let's put that on pause. Let's see where we're at, see what's going on. Like, that's kind of a good, like, let's get our heads, you know what I mean? Let's get our heads back on the right page.
Yeah, because he got a lot of backlash. Like, everyone just hated him for that time. It's like, yeah, he did do Cold Dirty, but also, like, it was spur of the moment. Like, fucking hell.
So at least they got themselves cleaned and thought it out and make sure they were fine. Right. Nothing weird was going on. We also had we have this weekend as well the D23 event happening, and there's been a few announcements that have dropped so far. I don't know if you've been. It was only in the last couple of hours. It's the Disney, like, all the Marvel, Star Wars, all that kind of stuff. It's their like it's Disney's like premiere Comic-Con kind of thing at the moment.
Oh.
So they're showing off the announcements. We had a few that were dropped. They showed little teasers for Incredibles 3, Moana 2, Frozen.
I'm for Moana 2, gonna be fucking.
Frozen 3, Zootopia 2, and Toy Story 5.
Yeah, that came out in 2 fucking years still. Was like, why drop that?
We got the title announcement for the third Avatar. So Avatar 3, Fire and Ash. And they showed the whole title card for that.
We already knew about that.
So they had the whole title card. And
there.
It looked really cool, that, like, animation thing.
I mean, that just confirmed it, though.
Yeah. But that looked pretty cool. We got... this is more of like a... To me, when I was watching the trailer, it felt like kind of like a rehash of, like, kids' films back in the day, like the Goonies and stuff like that. And but it's Star Wars, and it's Star Wars Skeleton Crew, but it's based on, it's really cool. So it looks good. So it's a younger generation of characters, and it looks more adventurous, more magical, and, like, you know, like movies should be. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy.
I saw one thing from something, and it looked horrifying from that fucking Disney thing.
Horrifying.
I saw that live action Stitch.
Oh, that actually was kind of cool. Like, they showed a bit of that off, yeah.
Oh, Disney, make new movies instead of remaking things live action.
Yeah.
They suck.
But, well, speaking of new,
the only good one is The Jungle Book.
Speaking of new, though, they've got a new animated movie called Hoppers. It's a new IP. There's that. Then of course the live
Is
action
it
Lilo and Stitch.
grasshoppers?
Not sure. There's Percy Jackson season 2. So that first season wasn't too bad. And they're making a spin-off series from Inside Out called Win or Lose.
Oh, fuck's sake.
And there's a new rock movie coming out based around Monster Jam. So
What?
you know the cars, the Monster Jam, monster trucks, and all
Yeah,
that.
but fuck.
They with the Rock. That's why I left.
Why?
That's why I left that one for last.
Why? They're in vehicles.
it's just monster trucks smashing and jumping. Like what?
Yeah, they're in vehicles unless they're gonna have like in cockpit views or something. Like
What's the premise? Like, I don't get it. Like, at least with the like that movie. Do you remember that movie Monster Trucks? At least that made sense when it was like Monster Trucks. It was literally
that monster truck.
Yeah, like that was a cool concept based off the whole, smash them up monster trucks eating trucks and shit. Like that was cool. But what? But this is part of it. But this is like Monster Jam, which was.
Jam.
But like that's like the Hot Wheels competitor. Like, is this gonna be like a Hot Wheels movie? Is this like Fast and Furious but like monster trucks? Like,
I
don't get it. It's just so weird. I was like, that's hilarious.
And they wonder why they lose money. Like,
but yeah,
they wonder why they lose all these fucking things that have been announced.
I just saw it. I was like, oh wow, because they got an event happening in.
Like that Lilo and Stitch. It's just the first movie. Like. Like you can't beat the original.
I know. They're just doing a live action adaptation of the first movie because they're on that grind where they want to do live action stuff.
The songs are going to be completely fucking different. The dialogue's going to be changed where it's going to be like, well, that's fucking dog shit.
Well, that's the thing. They try and make it different so it's not exactly the same because it's like if you want to watch it, that's like my argument is like if I'm going to watch like The Lion King, I'll watch The Lion King. Like if I want to watch Jungle Book. I tried
that live action again a second time and I couldn't do it. So I'm like, everything's just so fucked up. Like,
well, that's like again Jungle Book. Like, if I want Jungle Book, I'll watch the Jungle Book. Like, that
live action is probably the best live action they've.
But at the end of the day, the cartoons are still the best.
Oh yeah, by far.
Like that's why I am curious like when they're doing this live action Hercules. I am kind of curious.
Well, that's the Russo brothers. So,
but I mean, at the end of the day, the cartoon was still the best. Like that was still good.
No offense to Jon Favreau, but his live action Disney stuff.
I mean, one live action I wouldn't mind having would be maybe like Emperor's New Groove. That would be kind of fun.
No, because you need David Spade as.
That's what I'm saying though. Like have them.
No, he can't.
Imagine having him on screen being all like Emperor, and then he turns into a llama.
and you need John Goodman as fucking Pancho. What his name is. Pancho.
And yeah, what's his name as Kronk as always. Cool.
Yeah. Mr. fucking Patrick Warburton.
Yeah, like that'd be that.
I mean, that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Just have them like all the original cast like come back and then play the live action version.
No, it's fucking. I mean, it'd be funny, but no.
I know that's the hard. See, that's the end of the day. It is the hard part. Like, oh, that's it. They also showed the trailer for.
If things are already animated, they don't need a live action. Or if they're live action, they can do an animated if it's done right.
They dropped like I said, they also dropped the official trailer for the new trailer for the Snow White live action as well, and they have the they actually have the 7 dwarfs back in it now properly, and they showed them off in the they're all CG dwarfs. So, but
oh yeah, Snow White does the 7 dwarfs. Fuck
yeah. But I mean, that looked kind of interesting how they cut it. But I mean, again, that was a trailer. I don't think the movie itself is actually going to be any good.
It's going to be trash, man. Like, it's going to be fucking trash.
But yeah, it is a weird concept because there's things you can do in cartoon that you can't do realistically.
Like, just think, the Emperor's New Groove has so many. A fucking llama, for God's sake.
I mean, because we've had Pinocchio.
But I still got Cusco's like features. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
Give a real. Animate like a real live action alpaca.
Make an alpaca look like David Spade. Make it look like it just looks like Joe Dirt with a long face.
No. No.
Has the mullet?
Kronk, like he has a tiny head and a big body.
I know. Just they didn't.
Who the fuck plays Yzma?
Esma, yeah. But like, what do we got? Because we've had Lion King, we have Jungle
Jungle
Book,
Book.
we've had Lady and the Tramp, we've had Pinocchio, we've got now
Pinocchio
Snow
was pretty
White.
good. But that
We
was Del
got
Toro, though. No, the Del Toro one was better than the fucking Disney one.
so, but either way, we've got Pinocchio. We've had the Little Mermaid.
Um,
Um, we
Milan.
got Hercules on the way. Milan. We had Milan. What else is there in the iconic like Disney? They haven't done a live action Toy Story yet, so thankfully they don't do that
You can't.
because that's a class. But that's more Pixar. Um, what's more?
You shouldn't do any of these live. Like they just don't fucking work.
I know it doesn't translate the same, but it's just weird seeing like they've nearly like they've gone through most of the catalog.
Except Jungle Book. I don't know how that worked, but I think because you had the real kid there, like you had a Mowgli.
Yeah.
I think that was why, like it
And
worked.
they
had
kept
the
the
real
songs
with the CGI,
and they
where
kept
the
the
Lion King is
songs
all
too.
fucking CGI.
The songs sounded good and they kept them like in where they should be. Where
With
Lion
the
King,
Lion King, they changed every. The only one they didn't change was
they did
you
that.
know when Simba's like I wanna be a blah blah blah.
Yeah,
They kept that the same, but nothing else.
yeah, because they didn't really have that.
You know when Scar does the
Hakuna.
be
Yeah,
that's not in the song at all, in the movie at all.
I know. Like it's just
He says something else.
Oh, that's right. Aladdin. They had that as well.
That was pretty good though.
Yeah, I know. It's
That was
crazy
pretty
that
fucking. There's a second one coming at some point.
yeah. It's just weird that they've like done a lot of the animated, like the key. I think that's basically the key Disney animated like originals.
It just sucks that. I think it's
What are the classics?
whoever writes for the movies. Like, there's just the writing isn't there. Like,
Okay,
the heart
so
isn't in it.
the classics are Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Pinocchio. So they haven't done Fantasia yet, which is good. Dumbo.
You can't do you can't. Yeah, Dumbo was good. That was a good movie.
Bambi. They haven't done a live action Bambi yet.
You can't do that either.
That would be so messed up. Watching like Bambi's mother get shot, like really, that would be freaking. That'd be scary as. Cinderella. They haven't officially. Did they know they did a while back? They did do a live action Cinderella.
Yeah, but it's not from the. It's not like a retelling. It's more of a different angle than.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast was pretty much close to.
That was a good movie though.
They haven't done a. Did they? No, they did that as a series. That's right. The Peter Pan was a series. They did that. They went in that direction instead, but it was like went Peter and Wendy.
There isn't a good live action Peter Pans though. There really isn't.
No, but I mean like from Disney themselves. That they did that. They did that Peter and Wendy.
Like that Pan.
The only good live action Peter Pan type film we got was Hook. Yeah, that's the only best one we've got, and that was set
like
after.
The Pan with Hugh Jackman. That was all right, but
it's just not the same
Peter Pan.
No, that was more like based off the traditional Peter Pan story, not like the Disney Peter Pan. Like that's the crazy thing too. Like all the stories that that Disney have are stories that are from other people that Disney were like, we're gonna take that, and then we're gonna make stories out of them. It's just like you're stealing other people's stories.
Kind of like the Brothers Grimm they took from like.
Yeah, because a lot of those stories were a lot darker,
and they made like child friendly stories out of it.
Yeah. Still a bit over my sickness.
Like I just want an original movie, like not a sequel, not a spin-off, not just give us an original.
I mean,
animated movie.
Frozen was technically original, but at the same time it wasn't because the premise.
No, I'm not talking about then, but like now, like give us something new now, not another sequel, spin-off, remake, fucking live action. Give us something new that's in the style of like the early 2000s, late 90s stuff.
Yeah, they tried to do that like in Encanto, and that missed the mark.
Encanto, yeah, that's pretty fucking good though. I heard.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it.
Same
personally,
as that Rio
but
and stuff like that. But then again, like
Rio was a little bit. Encanto was more recent. Wish was definitely the most recent of Disney. Like in their.
I haven't seen any of these because I just.
But their new one that they work on now is Hoppers, so that's kind of interesting. Oh, Inside Out. Inside Out was another one, but that's a little while back too. And then there was Soul. Soul was another one as well.
Soul was apparently an amazing one as well.
It's about life and death and like passing on basically, and the cycle of life.
Hoppers.
Yes, so that was just announced. So, yeah, you might have to go Disney Hoppers or something like that.
Yeah, because Hopper's Lane general practice, like what the fuck? Hopper's Hopper's dismembler.
Dismember some hoppers for you. The
I
wrong.
want to put in Hopper's Disney, and it's got Hopper from A Bug's Life.
Oh god.
Park Hopper option, Walt Disney World Resort. Hopper Disney Wiki, like there is no hoppers, like it's not a thing.
Oh, it's okay. Well,
Unless on Google.
it's more Pixar. Okay, so it's more Pixar than it's a
Oh,
Pixar Disney.
Pixar,
So
is it?
it's not really Disney then. But it's Pixar's new original movie Hoppers follows a girl who switches brains with the beavers to learn about the secret of beavers. John Hamm will voice the mayor trying to destroy the beavers'
A
home.
beaver boy. A
Anyway,
beaver body
Ready or
swap.
Not
Like,
Hoppers is
what?
going to release on August 10th, 2026.
Why they release so fucking like reveal them so early? Like,
So yeah,
hey, Disney Pixar Hopper. Like,
but yeah, Wish was the more recent of any of the new Disney films.
hang on, featuring John Hamm and robotic beavers. What?
So yeah, so I do want to check out Wish. Kind of curious. They released it at a weird time, so it didn't hit the market that well.
I haven't even heard of fucking Wish. Like, what the hell?
It's got
Let me have a look at
Chris
that.
Pine, Ariana
Oh no.
DeBose, Evan Peters,
Oh, that's a Pixar movie as well, actually.
Alan Tudyk.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, it's got that little fucking lamb thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
So,
was in the trailer that I saw.
but that's more like that's. I think it's Pixar mostly worked on it, but that's more. That's more of the Disney Pixar, not Pixar Disney film.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, it got 5.6 out of 10.
it's
That's
not
an alright
bad.
movie.
It's watchable, basically.
Yeah. That's what I don't get. People like 5 ain't bad.
No, 5 means it's
5
watchable.
means average.
Yeah, it means it's watchable.
7 means good. Like, that's what people don't get. Like,
I
when
know.
things are scored.
I know when there's like a 6, you're like, oh, I'm like, 6 is above the average mark. Average is 5 if it's a 6. And then people go, and that's what gets me. It's like, you have something that's rated 6, and then people are like, and then you have something rated 7, like, oh, it's like, what the fuck? It's a 6 and a 7. They're basically the same thing. It's above a 5. Like,
No,
I
it's
don't.
good, great.
Like, if it's
You
below
got
5.
average, above average, good, great, amazing, and masterpiece. Like,
Yeah, 10 out
up
of
to
10 is
10.
masterpiece, yeah.
But like, I just don't get how like I'll watch
I
scenes
just.
that are around a 5 because it's just
I
you
just.
watch it
I
once and
know.
forget about it.
Exactly, but I don't know. Like I said, I do want to watch it. I watched Encanto, and I personally didn't like Encanto, but that's just me personally. I didn't like how the plot paced and
Oh no!
the tropes in that movie like felt like they were ripping on other Disney movies.
I just clicked on why did Wish flop, and the first thing it said the main issue with Wish is how bland the movie is.
I mean, again, it is a kids movie, so maybe that's the problem. But
I don't know. Yeah.
I'll give it a watch. I will watch it at some point. I have been
Right.
wanting to watch fucking Emperor's New Groove though.
And the second one.
Yeah, they were good. I have been wanting to watch that because I've just been looking
That's
at all the clips.
when I found them on fucking a double pack fucking Blu-ray, I'm like, get them.
Like
that and Lilo and Stitch 1 and 2 were on a double Blu-ray pack. I'm like, ooh.
So hopefully,
No, but still, like, you
yeah.
just can't live action Lilo and Stitch. You just can't.
No,
Because how the fuck you gonna live action the other aliens?
It's going to be interesting. That's more what I'm kind of interested about, like how it's going to work. The fact that this is like a very heavy real.
Is it a remake? Is it an original? Like, I don't.
Spin take on the first, movie.
Like, as long as they don't remake it, like if it's like a sequel in a live action or something, I'm all for it. But if it's literally recreating the first movie, then I'm fucking out already.
Like I'll watch it. Like I'm kind of keen for it. So I'll definitely watch it either way.
I mean, I'll watch it, but I've got very low hopes.
Yeah.
I don't know, like Disney has always been an animated thing.
This fucking group chat I'm in is just getting ridiculous.
And that's what that's what Disney is. Like they're an animated studio.
So
they only went live action because of like they got Marvel and all them fucking other pieces. Like,
I wanna staple this so the boys know when they do listen to it when the event when this all happened. So I got the group chat with Eddie and Luke I've mentioned, and I don't know why for some reason Ed kept calling the group chat the rec room, and I'm like, oh god, and I sent him the
the
picture.
fuck?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh god, I'm like, and I said to him as a joke, going, oh, when did you start playing that game? Because I'm like, why is he called it the rec room? And I sent him a picture of the rec room. Um, and then he
He would have
changed it.
been, huh?
And then he yes, and then he had it as that. I changed it to something else because I was like, oh no, him change. I think he changed something else, and I changed it to something. And then he changed it back to Rec Room again, and I'm like, okay. And then I named it Sassy and the Sasquatches, and he's just gone. He's just gone and named it, a bag of dicks, and then Luke went and named the group,
What?
the the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and Dale the Regular Man. And then now Ed's gone and removed it. He's just gone and removed the group chat name. I gotta rename it right now. The group formerly known as the League. League. League
But
of
I just want old Disney back, man. I want old Disney back. I just wish they never bought Marvel, Fox, fucking, or the other ones. Marvel's keeping them afloat. That's for them, fucking sure.
Ed removed the name and then named it Ass Eaters Anonymous, and then I just changed it to the group formerly known as the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and Dale the Regular Man.
But also, there is
Christ.
I think happening right now as well, like as we speak. But QuakeCon,
Yes, that's also happening too.
And there was a big thing that came out of that. You know, Night Dive Studios.
Yes.
Who did like the remasters, remakes of old games, bring them to new gens.
Yeah.
They recently done Doom 1 and 2.
Yes. Did you see that collection?
With new levels, new everything, 120 hertz mode.
Yeah.
Fucking, you name it. New remastered, like new soundtrack. Plus, yeah, it's got more punch. And I think they upgraded the graphics a little bit as well, like made it current gen.
Yeah.
But old, like still original.
They
but that is if you already own them, Doom 1 and 2, you get them as a free download.
Yeah.
But they're only like $20, maybe. But originally now, so but get them.
They
Night Dive is amazing.
Well, they've dropped it. I think I don't know whether because it only happened. I don't know if it was before the announcement, but EB put up a couple of days ago the Doom anthology that comes with the mini Doom BFG, and it has all the games in the collection. It's very
small, but it's a 5-inch BFG. I'm like,
but that has the anthology with all the games in it. I'm like, I don't know whether they were meant to announce that yet or not.
It's only for Steam though, I think, isn't it?
No, it's on everything. It's $140. Yeah, I'm gonna get it for PlayStation. I think
I might get it too. Yeah, because I got my Wolfenstein old anthology thing. Imagine they released all the old Wolfensteins. Like, why don't they do the Wolfenstein game?
But yeah, no, you got Doom 1 and 2, Doom 64, Doom 3, and then Doom Eternal, and they're both the complete collection.
It's pointless if I get that though. I already own all the games except for Doom Eternal.
But it comes with everything complete, so. So it comes with the deluxe Doom Eternal and
maybe I have to get it then.
Yeah, so I was like, ooh, for $140, I was like, ooh, I might get that for the PS5.
I mean, JB has it, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Is it EB exclusive?
No, not sure.
Be.
But I was like, damn.
No, I wouldn't think it would be. Because Doom is fucking every fucking way.
and Doom 3 looks good. Like what they've done to Doom 3, it looks nice. They've
so I'm guessing Night Dive have touched all of them games then.
Yeah. It looks like it's been upscaled or something. It looks a lot cleaner from what I was looking at.
What is Doom Annihilation?
Yeah, there's that. That's right. That's in it as well.
No, that's a movie. Doom Annihilation.
No, there's another name. No, sorry. No, I'm trying to think what it was. Or was it 64 I'm thinking of?
Yeah, Doom 64, yeah. That was in the old vein, like, of Doom 1, 2,
yeah, because I was like, there's an odd game in the collection, but it had
Hang on, is Final Doom in there?
Is it Final Doom that I'm thinking of?
Or is Final Doom Doom 3? I'm unsure, like, what that actually... Is Doom 3 and Final Doom the same fucking thing?
Kind of.
I think they got the same cover art, so I'm just different regions, I think. Because over here it's Final Doom. I think Doom 3 over the States or something. Oh, I already hate this EB World Plus already. It's fucking everywhere.
Yeah, they're pushing it. Yeah, the Doom anthology.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Doom
code. It's I guess it's
Anthology.
a code in a box, but still, it's not bad.
Fucking hell, really?
But it's on.
Yeah, code in a box. Like, really?
The only one that
Like,
doesn't say
fucking
it
hell.
is the PS4 version. It's the only one that doesn't say code in a box on their thing.
That's what I'll be getting then.
So I'm curious if that's actually on disc then.
Yeah, like that would have to be on disc then because there's no code in the
So it's
box, my
Doom, Doom
boy.
2, Doom 64, Doom 3, Doom, and then Doom Eternal.
I think that is the way to go if you want a disc or multiple discs.
But yeah, Doom 3
Yeah,
actually looks
Doom
pretty
1,
good.
2, 64. But where's Final Doom?
So yeah.
Why do they never add Final Doom to anything? Like, I'm gonna Google what the fuck is Final Doom because I played that on the PS1. I was only a little wee kid. Final Doom is a first-person shooter by Team TNT. It was released by id Software and distributed 1996. It's not made by id though. Dang.
What the fuck is that? Oh my god, he's.
It was released by id. Oh, Final Doom is a compilation of 2 standalone episodes, TNT and the Plutonia Experiment. So it's a DLC, like 2 DLCs really. But are they involved? Are they included in this? You get a steelbook, bruh,
Yeah.
with a code.
Still, I mean, still seems pretty cool.
I mean, I'll be getting the PS4 version, of course, because I want the physical.
I'll get on PS4 because I own like Doom and Doom Eternal on Xbox. So there's no point me double buying. So I'll buy that collection on PlayStation.
I mean, it's very well priced actually. 140.
The fact that even though it's 5-inch, it comes with a collectible.
Hang on, there's
as
no
well.
PS5 version.
No, it's just PS4. It's weird, interesting, eh? I guess we'll get the upgrade stuff.
I might buy for Xbox and PS4. No, maybe PC instead. PC and PS. That's interesting though, how it's PS4 but it's Series X. Like, hang on, it says Series X, but it's the code in a box. Why don't we Series S and X? What the fuck? Hang on, this product is a digital redemption code. It's not physically shipped to you. This product code is not provided by email. That's with the PS4 version.
Ah, so there's all codes.
Codes provided are to be redeemed through PlayStation Store and require a linked Bethesda.net account.
Not too concerned.
I already own all the fucking games anyway, so I don't have Doom Eternal on PS yet though.
You got the other ones on PlayStation, have you?
I have Doom 1, 2, 3, Doom's 2016. I just don't have Eternal. I mean, I'll just save money on that. Because I'm going to buy Doom Eternal anyway. I'm going to get the Steelbook. But Doom 64 is like $7 on the fucking store, so yeah. I already own Doom 3, fucking VR, non-VR, like. Or was it just VR? I don't know. I already own Doom 3 on disc, so. And I think I've got it digitally as well. So it's just pointless if I already got the games fucking digitally.
that. Well, that's like for me, like I'll get it because I don't have them on the PlayStation.
Because you don't have it on the PS, yeah.
I wouldn't mind playing them on the PlayStation.
That's why I bought the fucking Fallout and fucking Anthology because all the fucking games. I
know. I want to get that, but I don't.
76.
I don't want it on.
All on Steam.
Yes, I know. If they had the PlayStation one, I would have bought it Because it would be nice to have on a PlayStation, but
there's no Xbox, PlayStation,
no.
Switch. Like they should have. They would have got more
I
fucking
know,
money.
it's like bring the original games to fucking PlayStation and shit. Like, come on, they're just point and click adventures. Like, fuck.
Yeah, you really need a mouse.
Yeah.
That's freaking cool though. Like, I mean, fuck. People who don't have them.
What is it? I've got the so we'll stuff that what fucking those that are listening just and watching, we'll get more of a coverage on it next episode anyway. But I'll be going to the ECA this week. So by the time this episode's up, it's when I'll be at the ECA. So they'll hear about that next week.
Yes.
And also more of the D23 stuff as well, as more events will be happening over the weekend. So I'll cover on that stuff.
Yeah.
Like
same as the QuakeCon
and QuakeCon as well. So there'll be stuff
right
that will be late-ish because you may see it through the week. But we will get onto it the following week.
I think it's over the weekend it happens.
Yeah, because D23 is still going, and they're also having a Fortnite event for it, which I'll have a look at that, and get my take on that through Fortnite, see how that event plays out in Fortnite. And then I'll keep up on as much as I can from what's coming out of the QuakeCon. They had the only thing I really looked at though so far was the Fallout 76 stuff, because they updated more of what they're planning ahead, because we've got an update coming out in the next couple of days for stuff that's happening, but then we've got the big one coming apparently in December for Fallout 76, which is another kind of big seasonal update thing where shit's happening and there's like, kind of new regiony kind of enemy boss battle kind of shit going on. So I was like, okay, that'd be pretty interesting to check that out, because I know next year we get they're going to be bringing the ghoul thing on as well, so you'll be able to turn your character into a ghoul if you choose so go down that route through a mission. So I'm like, oh, so next year will be a fair chunk for Fallout 76, but we've got a while to wait at the moment. But yeah,
like 5 months.
So yeah, that's it. So I'll play it here and there, as it goes. But yeah, I've got those other games to kind of play on now. So in the interim,
I know how that feels.
Because I don't know what I'm going to be playing once I start working again. Like, I don't know where I'll focus my time on, because like we've got the new season happening with Fortnite, which is apparently going to be another Marvel season. So who knows what they're going to do there. So where the direction heads with that. There's rumors that it's going to be centered around Doctor Doom being the bad guy. So, which is going to be kind of paralleling.
They have a different bad guy for once. Like,
I know, which is weird, because like they announced like the whole thing for the movie, but it's just like, why is the game having their take on it in Fortnite when we've still got a while for that Doctor Doom movie to come out?
2 years away.
Like exactly. Away. Like, why have a weird gimmick thing at
2 years away, 2026, right?
Yeah, something like that. So I don't know. It's a weird play.
And then 2028 for the Secret Wars. Like, that's fucking 4 years away, man.
I know. I know people going on about these things, like, we've still got... That was like, because I was like having a conversation with Eddie. He's like, oh, they'll most probably reboot it at some point. I'm like, not anytime soon while we're alive, because how they've got everything set up, like, it's like 10 years still, 10, 20 years of stuff still.
I mean, it's already been rebooted. They got rid of Kane for Doctor Doom, like...
Yeah. Well, not that kind of sense of rebooting. He's talking about, like, the whole franchise being rebooted. I'm like, that's not going to happen in our lifetime. We're not going to see a reboot like that.
The only way when Kevin Feige leaves or gets fired or whatever, like then they'll get someone new in there.
Then they'll just continue on what they're doing until they get to an actual end point.
Well, they've already had a reboot, like after Endgame, really. Like
it's what continued on. There was no reboot. Like we didn't get a new Iron Man. We didn't get new Thor. We didn't get new Guardian. You know what I mean? Like it just continued on.
That's what you don't want. Like we don't want the new ones. We want new characters.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
that's what a reboot would be if we had a reboot.
Eddie shouldn't be wanting that.
No, I'm like, we're not going to get... That's what I tell him. It's like, we're not going to get something like that. So.
I just want something new, not the same thing we've had the last nearly 2 fucking decades.
So, it's...
2008 this happened. Like, 2008, nearly 20 years ago.
It's an attraction that we're on, so...
I mean, it is cool that Wesley Snipes in the Guinness World Records.
I know, because they brought him back as a cameo, which gave him the longest running character now. Because he was
from the 90s. Like,
yeah.
fuck, man, no one's gonna beat that now.
The only way that would have beat that if they had like Dolph Lundgren came back as the Punisher. You know what I mean? Because he did that really old movie as the Punisher that was filmed in like
same as
Sydney.
Thomas Jane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So if they had like that really
that
old
was in the 90s though.
Well, the Dolph Lundgren movie was filmed in like the 80s as the Punisher. Yeah, it's like it's an old Punisher movie. And if they had him cameo as the Punisher, that he would theoretically take the role because he did a Marvel movie before Blade technically did but technically like Blade on the other hand was actually the Marvel where I think
the Punisher wasn't, was he? Like he was.
It was a weird license because it was like in that weird.
Yeah, because he wasn't under Marvel, I don't think.
Dolph, because it was a Marvel character, but it was it's weird. Dolph Lundgren, Punisher.
Whereas Blade was Fox.
1989, that movie was
as well, right?
Frank Castle, a former police officer, transforms into the city's most wanted and mysterious vigilante. It was made in 1989, but it released in 1991.
Blade was.
He was a little bit after that. But
I thought Blade was part Fox and Marvel.
But who actually produced? I want to know who actually produced that 1989 movie. But yeah, like that's what I'm saying. If he was to ever come back as the Punisher, I think he would have one of the oldest.
Also, did you see that Ryan Reynolds wants Wesley Snipes to get a Logan type send off?
Yeah,
with his own movie now, like give him another movie.
Old man Wolverine, old man Blade.
He can't be old man Blade, but he doesn't fucking age.
I know. Well, he is like got the greys.
I mean, he can age, but he ages a lot fucking slower.
But yeah, I don't know who did that one exactly. It's weird.
I don't know, like it's
based on Marvel Comics, but who did I don't fucking know.
I think anyone really cares because who talks about that fucking movie? I've never even heard of it.
It's a good movie.
The only Punisher I know is the Thomas Jane Punisher.
That was a good one though too.
Like if they brought Thomas Jane back, he'd definitely up there because he was before Blade. Yeah, but Blade, Wesley Snipes been Blade for almost 30 years. Like, fuck, man. And the fact that he's bloody, back and might get another movie or so,
John Travolta.
Yeah, John Travolta. Yeah.
Was it Puzzle? Was it Jigsaw or something like that?
I think yeah.
Like
I just find it cool how like, because I was watching an interview with Wesley Snipes and that. And he said he got ready for that role in a month.
Well, yeah. Well, I say that.
He said like I don't walk around like Blade every fucking day.
Well, they had a lot that they.
It took him a month to get back into shape. Like that's crazy.
They scrapped a lot that they wanted to have in this Deadpool movie that they were not able to end up having because
it wouldn't have flowed.
Blade was supposed to have a little bit more in it. They were meant to have Ghost Rider, but again, he was going to be a lot of CG work, so.
Yeah, that was going to be would have had to be Nick Cage.
Yeah, but it was going to be big fact that he was, but they focused more towards Human Torch to have a bit more screen time because like you could have had two Flame guys, but they're like let's just go with that instead. But they had
would have been better having like side by side having two fucking Flame boys.
I know, right? But apparently there's a lot.
One from the air and one doing like a penance stare or something, like having Ghost Rider do the penance.
But there's a lot.
Amazing.
There's apparently a lot of stuff that they did that they end up cutting from the movie. So they had actually filmed stuff and done stuff. Like apparently the Ghost Rider scene was done.
That's like every movie though. It's like you see some of the deleted scenes and go, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah. Well, the fact that they did Ghost Rider, but like there was a budget that they put in for that. But there's apparently when you budget stuff, there's making it. And then there's apparently it can extend the budget by actually putting it into the movie as well. So if they cut it,
because it's work for the animators and
so they apparently got that. So apparently there's going to be a lot we're going to see in the deleted scenes. Like there's a lot of.
I hope they give a director's cut.
Yeah, with a few extra scenes would be great. But yeah, there's a lot
because I think Deadpool had a director's thing, like it had a theatrical release and it had a director's release or something.
It had the higher rating director's like cut.
Yeah,
and for Deadpool 2. It had the super duper cut, whatever it was, directed. And
that's what I got. It's got a weird case.
Yeah,
it can be with 2 discs. I thought, ooh.
But But yeah, no, it's
we want to get the discs here for Deadpool and Wolverine because Disney,
hopefully.
They cut the fucking distribution here, idiots.
I know. Hopefully, they actually change back on that and release that. They better.
I don't reckon they will.
So,
ask you what make a fucking difference.
But yeah, there's a lot anyway. There's a lot of deleted scenes, so it's like that'd be cool to see what thing because there's a lot more Wolverine cameos that they had that they
That's
ended up having to
scrap. All the Russo movies. Like they had a lot of shit they cut.
Yeah, there was a lot of characters because they were meant to end
for
up
the
having
Avengers. Like they had a lot.
because we saw in that shot where there was behind the scenes where we saw like Cyclops, like that was in the movie. Apparently there was a few other X-Men in the movie, but they had to cut out for continuity and timing, and they were gonna apparently also too. They were saying that they were gonna actually have a variant of Iron Man in the because of the
it would have been Tom Cruise, I think,
because it was like the end void because of the whole thing where they pruned characters. It was going to be another pruned
They're still
version.
trying to get Tom Cruise as Iron Man for some fucking reason.
So basically, there was going to be a lot of characters that got pruned that ended up in the end, and there was going to be like a whole bunch of crazy shit going on because of that whole kind of nonsense happening. Which I'm like, damn, that would have been cool to see like a bunch, but you got to balance it out where it doesn't get too taken away.
I'm so sad that our fucking Johnny Blaze is no longer. Not Johnny Blaze. What's his name?
Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm. Yeah.
He got fucked up.
He's dead.
He got fucked up. He got his whole skin.
Like that's the one that was in our original fucking movies. Like he's gone.
That fucking version that got pruned apparently. So a variant of that. So who knows what happened to
why? That's
the
same dude from the Silver Surfer and that. I think.
Yeah. Well,
so he's gone.
Again, with the whole pruning process, that's one version of the universe, and there's multiple variations. So whether it's specifically that version, something happened in that timeline. I think
it would be because he referenced something from one of the early movies.
Yeah. So how it works too with that whole pruning process?
Didn't he mention like one of the plot points of the first two movies?
Yeah. Well, it explains in Loki the whole pruning process and why variants and how certain characters get pruned. So it's where if something happens where a character's supposed to die, but they loophole to keep living, or if they changed an arc where they killed off a character to reset the timeline, they prune a certain character, and it kills off that timeline, or there's a balance where a character was meant to die. So if like in a different universe where Loki, like Thor was meant to die, but then Loki was meant to die at some point, so there was no Thor or Loki, but that Loki shifted and did something different. They would end up pruning that Loki so that Loki never always existed. So if there was a battle between like the Punisher and Daredevil was meant to die in that universe, but somehow something changed, someone changed the fate and he survived, they would prune Daredevil so therefore he no longer existed, so that timeline could arc off how it's supposed to. And that was the process. So
that's like if Tony Stark didn't get the
if he didn't snap,
gauntlet.
if in that timeline where he's meant to snap,
he would have been taken out somewhere else.
So if he took that and did something different instead of making that choice in that timeline, he would have been pruned because his goal was to no longer exist in that timeline. So they do things to variant change it to loopholes.
Dude, this is like I can't be the only one who thinks the best ever Marvel like live action Marvel set piece is Cap with fucking Mjolnir in fucking Endgame.
Where he like catches it and he's standing there with the shield in his hand and then the hammer in the other.
And he just goes through like smashing everyone.
And he's like throwing the hammer and then he's like throwing the shield and he's like catching the shield and then like throwing it and then when he passes it to Thor and then Thor smacks him and then passes it to Cap and they're like passing it while hitting like Thanos with it. It's fucking badass.
That has to be the best ever Marvel like sequence ever.
Well, also it came from the I don't know if we talked about that or not, but there was a variant of Thanos they showed off as well that came out from Comic-Con for I don't know which movie it is, but there's a variant of Thanos. I think it's King Thanos, and he's got the crown and he's got like the beard with like the dreadlocked beard and stuff, and he looks so badass. And he's got the armor like the typical Thanos armor, but then it's got like fur coat on it, so like things like fur edged and stuff. He looks so fucking badass, and I'm like, oh, this version of Thanos, King Thanos, is going to be an interesting take.
I am sad that if they bring anything like that in, it won't be what's his name who played him. Josh Brolin, because he kind of hates Disney at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's all themed
Because
after
they
him.
scrapped Cable. Like, he said he wanted to be in 3. Like, he wanted to be in it because it makes sense.
Well, that was kind of on Reynolds a bit, though, too, because it was, like,
Yeah,
not...
like, he's a major fucking part of Deadpool's story. Like, Cable and Deadpool, like...
Because technically, this isn't Deadpool 3. It's Deadpool and Wolverine.
3 was cancelled. Like,
yeah.
he's gone. That's
so
never going to be a thing.
The thing. So that's the problem, being that the fact that people are calling this 3. This technically isn't the third movie. Like, it's third in line of, like, Deadpool movies, but it's not the trilogy,
3. But it's not the third.
Because
it's not Deadpool 3.
They're possibly looking at maybe doing a Deadpool 3 still.
No, that's gone. So that's what this movie was. But it's not 3.
So it's the fact that Reynolds is now part of Disney. He's got contracts to do more roles. So they've already talked about it, that he's going to.
Yeah, he's already doing the voice acting now. Don't forget.
So they've already talked about him appearing. Like, people have.
But what people don't get is these guys are in their like 50s or almost 50. Like, they can't do this forever.
It needs to be done, and if they didn't do it, it needs to be done soon, kind of thing, because they're getting too old, kind of.
Like, look at Hugh Jackman. He's nearly 60. Like, he
but
can't have that shape for so fucking long. Like,
oh, he's pulled that together so well, because there's that side by side comparison of the photos of how ripped he was. He's, if not more ripped than he first was as Wolverine. Like, it's crazy.
Which makes no fucking sense.
He's gotten so much more, like, fit and buff. But you can still be fit and buff, but there's still age on your side. So, you know, you could end up fighting like Steven Seagal. So stiff.
I just like,
but Channing Tatum's pushing to try and get the either more.
Please no.
Gambit, or at least the Gambit.
Don't give him his own movie.
He's trying to push for that again, so he's trying to push for that to come back. So that'll be interesting.
Alec Hitch was a way better Gambit.
So, everyone's loving Channing Tatum as Gambit because he's got it so perfect. So, but
they fucked his eyes up. Like, give him his red and. Fucking...
But even he said though too, he said we might need some subtitles in this if we do it.
Yeah.
Because of the accent.
I understood it perfectly fine though. Like.
But yeah, it's kind of funny.
Just, like, it's not that bad to listen to him.
Cajun accent, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But everyone's praising him because he's got it perfect.
Don't like Coach. The Minions?
But he's got it perfect, so he's 100% got the perfect voice and everything. Like, he's done it right. Everyone's praised him for it, for being accurate to the character.
Yeah, but the look wasn't right. Like, they fucked
up
his helmet.
They gave him it was too
into
stiff.
His eyes right, like...
But it's here and there with some of the stuff, but I mean, it's pretty close to accurate.
No, his helmet made him look fucking chubby as fuck. Like,
no!
They cut it so short.
It was cut weird, so then it was stiff, and he looked chubbier than what he actually is.
His face looked like it was like just ballooning out of it. Like, why?
I know, it was so funny. But
I mean, that's not the only issue I've got. Like, fucking Wolverine helmets are fucking same. Like,
but I mean, it's cool that they got the white. But I do find it funny that it came out of nowhere. It's like a hard helmet, but it was tucked away, folded perfectly in his neck the whole time.
Like it was like a fucking hoodie.
And then he just pulls it over, but then it's all hard and sturdy. It's like, how is it sitting behind his head? We didn't see it once from any of the back shots, because you would have seen that, like the way it was sitting with those big wingdings. You would have seen that.
Because it's not covered up. It's not under his shirt.
And he just somehow untucks it and pulls it out and pulls it over his head, and then it's solid. It's like, what? It went for being somehow curved and rolled up and tucked away.
Handles, like,
and then fucking come out of nowhere, and it's sturdy as, like, you could tap on it. You know, it's going to protect you from a bullet. You know.
Yeah, because he gets punched and shit. They don't move.
I know. So it's just kind of. It's just a very fan service movie.
Like, in the comics, now, it's actually a helmet. He puts it on.
Yeah. Or if
not just
but the fact is, when you have seen him do that in the cartoons, he pulls it back. You see it sitting at the back of his head, or it's resting on his back because it's a solid thing. And then he stretches it over, and it clips and it sits on his head, but it's solid. Like, it doesn't hide, or it's a separate thing where it detaches. You know, like, it's.
I do give it props where it's practical, unlike Thor's helmet,
which is appears and just there it is. It's gone.
It's like hovering on his head when he moves.
The CGI was so bad.
I'm like, bro, that like, it's not the end of the world, but like, they could have done that shit better.
100%.
I'm not a fan of that. Like, live action, it doesn't.
But either of the fucking costumes for Jane or him, like, They were
No,
just.
I'm talking about Wolverine. Like that
Oh, that
live
yeah.
action. It doesn't. Nah, I prefer the X-Men, like
Oh,
his
you
X-Men
prefer
outfits
what?
more.
Shu loved the yellow suit. He was so happy. He's like, because he said, like he
Yeah,
said
because
in
he
a
wanted the fans to get that
Well,
finally.
he said when he put it on, he goes, "Why the fuck didn't I have this from the start?
Yeah.
They fucked me." And he said in an interview, he's like, "Why the fuck didn't I
Right.
have this from the first movie? They did me dirty. I'm pissed off now. I could have worn this the whole time." I thought that's hilarious that he was like that. Like he loved the suit and he wanted to wear it from the get go. Now that he saw it, it's like they did me dirty. I could have been wearing this the whole time. No one said anything. If I knew this is what I would have had, I would have been pushing for it. I was like, that's funny. I love
Yeah,
Hugh.
because when you think about it, that suit hides all the fucking padding that
Yeah,
he wore.
yeah,
Because when you look at the end scene, he's very scrawny, but he's buff. But
yeah.
in the suit, he's like all filled out.
I know. Like it's a different tankiness.
Like I,
It's a very
that's
interesting.
like Blade though, because he goes, I got some foam in places.
Yeah, the plating. I know because he's like you actually look at Wesley Snipes and he's
Well,
fit,
he's in
but
his 60s. Like he's
he's
like
yeah
probably near 70 or whatever. Like
he's
he's
lost
still
that
in good shape.
he's lost that age weight. So if you look at him, he's kind of
Yeah,
skinny now because of his
yeah.
age. So he's got muscle, but he can only go to a
That's
certain
same as Hugh
mass.
Jackman. Like he's
Yeah,
mid 50s. Like he's gonna just get not smaller, but like
he can only
leaner.
hold he can only hold so much because of his age. When you get to a certain age, you start losing a certain muscle mass and fat, and there's only so much you can gain. So it sits in a certain
Unless
spot.
you're on the roids and juice and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's just crazy. But yeah,
but it's
that
cool
looks
that we
funny.
get. I mean, it's cool we've got the yellow suit, but I prefer his other like official X-Men suits
Mm. They were
that we've
cool
already
too.
seen. Like that black one. Like that was so in X-Men 3. Man,
Yeah,
that was good.
but I mean, we also got the original one that we saw in the X Men in that drawer as well, which was that yellow brown one we saw in that scene. So you see him wearing that one as well.
In Logan, that
In
brown one.
no, in this as a scene when they're going through the variants of Wolverine when Deadpool's
Oh
trying
yeah,
to
yeah.
find him, they have that version which is the yellow brown suit. He's wearing
That
it without the
that
helmet
suit is
though.
probably a fucking up there. Like,
So that they got that suit in as well. So we at least saw a variant of that as well because all we saw was the helmet, which we kind of got that version of the helmet,
yeah.
but we saw the gloves and then the thing which was just that yellow brown,
I can't remember
and at
with the
least we got
X-Men
that.
movies. Did he ever wear a helmet? I don't think he
No,
did.
he didn't. He didn't wear a helmet at all.
His hair was just pointy.
Yeah, it was just his hair. Sorry for the coughing, everyone. Um, but yeah, so
I have
it
to watch all the X-Men. Like, start with the new ones, go to the old one, then go with Logan. Like, I have to just because they're all so good.
mm.
Like,
Well,
trying to
actually,
watch them in timeline order is fucking
no.
difficult.
Timeline order is watching the old series, then the new series, because a timeline of that variant pops into a point in the new version,
No,
and
you,
it
you
goes
have to
back in
watch
time.
some of the old, some of the new in
No,
between.
no, it's literally
Because you can start with Days of Future Past and all that. Like the James
watch
McAvoy, you
watch the
start with them.
three. You watch the three originals, because there's a point at the end of that in Days of Future Past where Wolverine goes back in time. When he goes back in time, then he goes to the James McAvoy series, and that's where that
And then back
starts.
again.
Yeah, so it's a weird time jump. So you have
Yeah,
to
because
watch the
I
original
watched them in some
first.
order. I'm like,
Yeah, so you watch the original three
I
first.
watched them in his timeline order, which is weird.
So yeah, you watch the original three first. So or you have Origins, then the three, then the three.
Because you have the Wolverine as well in
The
there.
the Wolverine, which is the second one, takes place after the third movie, like the third X Men movie. Then there's that Days of Future, whatever. I think it's Days of Future Past, where Logan gets sent back in time.
I thought Apocalypse was that's in there as well.
Yeah, but whatever that one is, where he gets sent back in time, where he has to change the timeline, he's got to go back and save something.
Mm.
You watch that one, and then when you go back in time, that's when you start the James McAvoy series, and then you watch the First Class and
Yeah,
such and
that
such.
also proves that that's not the Wolverine in Deadpool and Wolverine
No,
because
it's a different timeline. Yeah, but that's how you watch it. So you watch Origins.
because he
Um,
died
so or you can
in
even watch
Logan. Like, he's fucking
Origins,
dead.
but this is the version I worked out from watching them all that made actual chronological sense. Anyway, was Origins, the three X-Men movies, then the second Wolverine movie, then the Days of Future Past, which sends him back in time. Then you watch First Class and whatever that sequel First Class is,
Apocalypse,
and then then that Apocalypse one,
which
which
had
kind of continues
Magneto
on.
like destroy shit, like
Yeah, and then
going
you have
fucking
that,
ham. the young Magneto.
And then you can like watch. Then you watch Logan, because that's when he starts being affected.
Logan's at the end because
and then that you come back to that, and then you can like watch if you want to chuck in Deadpool Wolverine, but you don't have to because it's a different Wolverine.
Yeah.
So, but that's how you watch it.
That's also why he got the yellow suit, because
like this is coming from like
didn't have it.
A massive Wolverine fan, and that's the way to watch it properly. How I watched it and broke it down chronologically, because when he gets sent back in time, things change, and that's why we have the McAvoy series, because when he goes back, he gets sent time changes differently, and that's how we get that timeline. And then and then Apocalypse
that weird movie
kind
or two of like they don't know who he is, but he knows them.
Yeah, it's like a whole weird process.
That's what I was like. If you watch them in release order, it's all fucked up.
Exactly, like it's all over the place. Because was it First Class series?
Yeah, because Fox really jumbled that fucking timeline.
Because it kind of like erased.
It's the worst timeline in history. Like just trying to follow that. But I'm gonna binge them all at some point.
But that's definitely the best way of watching them. Let me have a look.
Because I binged. I didn't watch X-Men like the first 3 X-Men in
First
the binge
Class,
I did.
The Wolverine, Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, and then Dark Phoenix. Okay, so that's right. So it's Wolverine Origins, X-Men, X-Men 2, The Last Stand. Then you go to the Wolverine. Then you watch. It must have been Days of Future Past. Which then, once you've watched Days of Future Past, you go to First Class.
I thought First Class was the first. Like you had to watch that before.
No, because that's in the new timeline. First Class is in the new timeline. That's created. I mean, it's a
that's
weird.
That's the past, though.
Yeah, because that's why there's Days of Future Past. So you watch that at the end. Well, it's weird. It's half and half.
Can watch it first, but
it's because that Days of that first Class.
It makes more sense to watch it first because then you know what's happening. Well, the original stuff as well.
Well, that X-Men First Class, all those events that happen in that don't happen in the X-Men timeline. So X-Men 2, and X-Men 3, that's in a different timeline.
Pretty much null and voided the original X-Men movies.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. It's because the events of Days of Future Past alter the timeline.
That's weird.
Because in that, because if you remember the setup of that, the world's going to shit, and then they lay Wolverine down on the table, and they're like, "We're going to send your mind back into a different time period of Wolverine." So when they send him back, that's where he ends up in the First Class timeline.
Yeah.
So that's where you shift timelines from the X-Men, Patrick Stewart timeline, and then you end up in the First Class timeline from that movie. So that's why I say watch Origins, then 1, 2, and then Last Stand. Then the Wolverine, then you go Days of Future Past, then it pushes you over, then you watch First Class, then you go Apocalypse, and then you go The Phoenix Rises, whatever it is.
I just don't get why the Wolverine is so underrated. That movie kicks ass.
And then, well, you got to have Logan in there at some point at the end, but you can have that at the very end, because it's seeing him go through all that. You think about when you watch all of that together. That's all the shit he's been through. And then now he's like, fuck this shit. You know what I mean? So when you watch it in that order... So when you watch it in that...
He doesn't give a shit any more than he did.
So that's the way of watching it personally that gets the better experience out of it. As a Wolverine fan. That's the pure...
Yeah, but if you want story, then you watch them... certain order.
if you just want story, you can watch it any way you want. You can watch the originals, you can watch the prequel, like the new stuff. You watch them first.
If you want the X-Men story, you watch the prequels, then you watch the X-Men, and that's pretty much it.
Because X-Men First Class alters the events of, like I said, whatever happened with the original X-Men series. So it's so confusing how they did it, the way they introduced like Cyclops and everything happens differently the way it does in that universe. And it's just like, why do they have to do that? Why do they have to make 2 different universes, and then they made a movie to try and make it make sense? And it's just like, fuck. But that's the best way. The way, because I've watched I've watched these in so many different orders. That's the best way I found it. I'll have to put a thing up in the order of... I'll have to put a chronological timeline order up on the...
Yeah, you watched Dark Phoenix before the first X-Men movie.
It's a weird process.
Yeah, 'cause this is literally you watch First Class, Days of Future Past, Origins, Apocalypse, Dark Phoenix, X-Men, X2, X3, and then the Wolverine, which makes sense. And then
That's
Deadpool.
that's a way of watching it.
Like, what?
But if you want to experience like that's what I'm saying. The way that I've got it is
Yeah.
experiencing it through like the what you're following
Yeah, because the way
Wolverine.
I listed there is literally the story just flowed through,
That's a flowed.
not just Wolverine.
That's a flowed story to a point where you can get a brief understanding
That's
of
the whole
X-Men.
X-Men story, not just one
Yeah,
character.
yeah,
Though.
yeah. But that's to get it. That's it's an interesting way of watching it because, like I said, if you watch it in the way I've explained to watch it,
Well, it's literally in story order.
well, then that's the problem as well too, is because First Class and then the original X-Men are two different universes to begin with. So even though they're a prequel story, they don't match up with the X-Men story because they're two different timelines. So that's the convoluted part where it's even though it's a prequel, it's in a different timeline over here. While like I said, Jane McAvoy's prequels over here at
Fox
the beginning.
really messed up their
And then you have Patrick Stewart's timeline, even though it takes place after technically that stuff, it's over in a different timeline. So it's just like we've got this stuff happening over here while this is happening here. So then you've got these two timelines that are happening like coexistingly, but at different times. And it's just like, what the fuck? So so the way I've got, because like I said, I've watched them every order, background, upside down, any way you can think of it, Wolverines and then the X-Men, watch them in each threes or whatever. So many different ways of watching it, but to get that mind fuck, how so you may like that feeling to get the sensation of how Wolverine got sent back in time with that whole mind thing. You watch it in that order, and you're basically watching it in the eyes or through the storyline of Wolverine's storyline. Yeah. So that when you get that shock of like getting sent back, you feel that whole story taken back, and then you watch with it, and it's such a different experience. Like you can pick them up and know what's going on, but when you watch it in that sense of like following Wolverine's storyline through those movies, it's kind of a weird take that you go back with him back to the beginning and then you come back to the future again. It's just
Beast
like
the same. Beast is the same Beast in both fucking trilogies.
Oh, he's still blue, but it's a different actor.
Yeah, but technically the same. Like they look exactly the same.
Basically, yeah, they kept the same style, and he's in the Marvels movie. Beast shows up.
Yeah,
because apparently
weird.
So apparently, what they're saying was though,
I mean, it's not weird, but
is the Wolverine. This is apparently what they're saying. The Wolverine that we have in the Deadpool Wolverine movie was from that universe's movie where at the end of the Marvels, the character got sent to a different universe and we only saw Beast. Apparently, that's the universe where Wolverine is from.
It's the same Beast.
Yeah, so it's a similar Beast. Well,
it's the
same actor, yeah, that played Beast in the original X-Men series. But I mean, like, Beast makes sense why he survived when everything was going on and everyone died, kind of thing. Because and then he kind of killed some mutants. Beast makes sense to be one of the ones to survive as a mutant because he's smarter to not go look for trouble and get involved in like those kind of things.
Because Beast doesn't do that.
Yeah, so if there's like an extermination going on of like the race of like mutants, he's smart enough to hide.
Logan killed the X-Men, like.
So in this
he killed everybody.
In this version, it was that whole revolution where the mutants are being killed by Sentinels and shit like that, and Logan just hid. So what happened was Logan just hid, and he could have.
He wouldn't have done that though.
That's what happened though. That's what happens in this Deadpool movie. He explains that. So his version that he's from, he's mad with himself because he hid away.
He did nothing.
Yeah, he just sat back while everyone died, and they came to him for help, and he turned them away. He's like, I'm not helping you.
He's a dick.
Yeah, he was a dick. He shut everyone out. And then he got to a point.
It does explain his personality in Deadpool Wolverine. Then.
And then there was
how he's just so fucking angry.
Yeah, and he's angry at himself because he didn't help anyone.
He isn't like that, like at all.
And then it got to the point where
he's
people,
angry, but he's not that angry.
But like people exist. But it got to the point that those kept coming to his door asking for help. Basically, what he was hinting at is those that came to his door asking for help. If they didn't go away, he killed them.
Yeah, that's another thing he went to. He pretty much killed the X-Men.
He got to a point. Yeah, and that's it. They came to him for help, and he bailed on them and ran away. And that's why he's upset, because he let all his friends and family die when they needed him the most. Because he would have
save his own ass.
Yeah, just to save his own ass, and that's why he ended up being like a drunken slob. But it's weird too because Logan usually doesn't get drunk, but this version in this universe he can get pissed.
No, he does. Oh no, he just he just drinks. Yeah,
yeah, because
he doesn't get drunk.
Yeah,
he can't.
Yeah, exactly. But this version that he is,
same as Deadpool, he can't get drunk. Like
when you see him, he gets pissed, and that's why Logan was Deadpool was able to take that version of Wolverine and grab him bring him across because he stands and he goes, "You want to see something?" And then he goes and you think Wolverine's going to do the whole claw thing and get to a bar fight with him, but he grabs a bottle of alcohol, sculls it down, stares at him, and then just falls backwards, passes out drunk. And I'm like, what the fuck? What is this? And this is because he's so depressed of himself. But I'm like, how is alcohol affecting him though?
Yeah, but it still shouldn't affect him like that.
So that's what the other thing got me too, is like, why is alcohol affecting him in this universe? Is he starting to decay? Is this a version that we're seeing that has that decay like Old Man does, where he's infected? Because remember how he's infected, he's slowly decaying?
That adamantium poisoning is universal, like it happens at some point.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if in that version he's got that, and that's why he's able to...
is poisonous.
So...
And yeah, because, I mean... in Logan, he's fucking old. Like that's in 2029. Like he's old.
Because a lot of people are pointing out too from the movie.
He's had a fair few years of that fucking poison.
They're pointing out the fact that we have an old man Logan in that timeline where Deadpool exists was because it's the Logan that he pulled from the past. Because that doesn't happen until the future, right? Because remember at the start of the movie, he finds the corpse of Wolverine, and it's just adamantium. Well, that's he got that from the future of his timeline, apparently, but Wolverine doesn't exist in that timeline. So what people are saying is he's pulled the Wolverine from a different timeline. Then it creates that future version to exist, and that version he knows is the one that dies in the future, and then he goes to that because it's a weird, like, does that make sense? Like he brought a Wolverine into that timeline that never existed in the timeline to then create a version that's going to die.
He did, but he died.
Yeah, but to create a version that dies in the future. It's like, what the fuck? Like, why would you do that? Pull a Wolverine from another non-existing timeline into a timeline to make a future version that dies, that never existed in your timeline, but now you've got a version that's going to die, and then that's why it's like that's
but that Wolverine did exist in that timeline.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a weird fucking.
Logan was from the future, like it was in the future.
So when he went to go find Logan, it was in the future, and it's like, what the fuck? And that's why he found the corpse, because when that took place, when he died, it was like 2029.
I just want to know who the fuck buried him.
I know, because you see him, he laid there like with the thing on the thing, and he just laid there with her, like, and she left him and walked off, and he just stayed
buried
there.
Him.
That's what I mean. But I remember him just laying there up against the log with the wood through his chest, and he just like died.
It is
just like
it is cool that fucking Daphne Keene's taken over for Hugh Jackman though, like as the new Wolverine.
Doing the X-23. Yeah. We're actually going to get her. I would have liked to...
She's fucking brutal, man.
That's why I would like to see his son. If we actually... I'm hoping we get a version where we get to see Wolverine's son, because he is the absolute worst. I don't think he's got one in there at all. It would be nice because it's... Draker or something? I can't remember his name now. But he is absolutely brutal. Because he hasn't come out of his
Look what she did in fucking Logan, like as a kid.
Yeah, well, she has two come out of her hand and the one in her feet,
and
which we got to see, which was cool. But Dake has like two that come out of the top and one that comes out of the wrist. So he has like, so his whole hand is like a point of a blade, so he can just like punch straight through as like a perfect point because it's got the two and then the third one.
Yeah, but we would have seen him by now. And
it's crazy.
Hugh Jackman's pretty much done. Yeah, it's all X-23 now. Like,
but it'd be cool if we get a version because he's a lot older. It's like in the existing timeline, he's like in his 30s.
So he could be the mentor of her then, like instead of Hugh Jackman. It'll be,
yeah, so if we do have a variant timeline or something of that,
instead of Logan, it'd be
son. We could have his son, which would be cool. But he is like rampagey, bro. You know how he saw like Wolverine's berserk? Like his berserk is like fucking the whole next level. Like he is ruthless. The fact that like, because he's got like the hidden blade style where he can like stab people because he gets in the it's really cool because he like walks over and does like Assassin's Creed shit, and then he's got the claws over the top so he can slash and then like uppercut, like punch with the blade, and it's fucking crazy when you see him fight like in the comics because he just walks up and like palm punches, but then he like stabs because he's like punch, and then just projects it out of his wrist. Just fucking imagine, and then you can like walk up behind people and just fucking stab him in the back of the head, like out of the wrist.
Right.
And like that's just fucking ruthless, and he's just fucking nutcase. Like I'm like, that would be cool to see because he doesn't like he is scary. Because like
is X-23 as brutal in this movie? Like.
she does go pretty crazy. Like you do see the combat where she's like slicing
in Logan,
and
like,
fly
she
kicking.
saved his ass so many fucking times.
Yeah, well you see all the fighting and fly kicking and stuff. So
because out of all the scenes I've seen, I haven't seen none of her.
You see what's her name that chickie fought the fingernails. She's back in there in the fight scene.
Fingernails
in the second one where she had like the adamantium fingers.
Oh, he fucked her up. Yeah.
Yeah. So you say she's there in the
she was a version too. Like she had adamantium nails, I think, didn't she?
Yeah, yeah. So, but she wasn't like Wolverine though.
She was a weapon as well.
But there's that. But the
she got decapitated, didn't she?
But the fun fact,
like
I don't know if you noticed or if you've seen it, but the guy that played Juggernaut.
Yeah, is the dude from fucking Free Guy.
Yeah, he was Ryan Reynolds' stunt double for the fucking catchphrase. I was like, that's cool. That's a cool little like bring back.
Like, we didn't get to see his face, but we just see it now.
Yeah, exactly. No, like that's kind of cool.
It would have been weird if they put Ryan Reynolds' face on Juggernaut.
Bring it back as a joke. But no, it was cool because we had that, and then I can't remember if we talked about
7 foot, like he's fucking massive.
I can't remember if we talked about it last time when we talked about Deadpool stuff, but also Tom Holland's brother got to play a Deadpool as well. He was one of the younger Deadpools, so I was like, that's kind of cool, like because if you remember, he had a cameo in Spider-Man, but then they cut that scene, and then they ended up having him actually in as one of the Deadpools. So technically, even though he had a mask on, he got to play a Deadpool. So I'm like, that's actually a cool thing where his scene got cut, but now he's actually got a scene. I'm like, that's really cool. So there was apparently a lot of cameos with that, with all the people.
Did you see who everyone thinks should have played Nice Pool? It's not Ryan Reynolds. It was Ryan Gosling.
Oh, that would have been funny. A different Ryan. That would have actually been funny.
Right? Because I was like, it was the perfect opportunity to put another Ryan in.
I know.
Nice Pool, like.
But I mean, they still went with the joke, and it was his Ryan Reynolds' twin brother. I do like that they went with that joke still. At least they went with the gag still. Like it's still, but Ryan Gosling would have been funny because it's the other Ryan.
Hilarious.
So, and was it like Nathan Fillion was Headpool and Blake Lively was which made sense for Lady Deadpool, which was like makes sense, like have his wife as the perfect counter.
It was weird after seeing a full shot because like that is her to a T.
Yeah. Like it was so good though. I was like, but I want there's so many more. But they had was it his kids as well with the kid Deadpool, like the baby Deadpool and that as well. So he had his like
because he just had a kid recently.
Yeah. So they had the baby. Their baby was dressed up as baby Deadpool, and their youngest was Kid Pool. So I was like, that's cool. Like, they actually got their kids as well to play other variants of Deadpool. Right. I was like, that's cool. Like, when they had, like...
Yeah, there were so many Deadpools on, like, when they did that fucking scene. Like, there's so many.
They had, like, one of the sports members from that football team he has play that Welsh Deadpool.
Yeah, the red thing, what the fuck it was called.
That Welsh one.
Called. Oh, we had Canadian sports.
Had that Welsh flag on his chest. With the dragon, the Celtic Welsh, like the Celtic.
Oh,
he was that.
Yeah, such a W, doesn't it?
Something like that, but yeah, it was that one of his team members. That team
I heard him talking about it. And then on an interview.
There was so many, like he had so many people like in costumes for those different versions of Deadpool.
Yeah,
or different cameo like Easter eggs and stuff. I'm like, that's cool though. Like that's even if someone may not have had a line, like they still had a cameo as
just
a
the
character.
fact they were there.
Yeah. And then like that friend of his that was he runs the football club with.
Peter?
He was like no, not Peter, but like that friend, the actual real life friend of his that he does that football club with, the Wrexingham.
Yeah, Wrexingham. That's what I was thinking of.
So that because him and that other bloke from
I know it's hard to fucking W, but I couldn't think.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's in that. He got to play one of the TVA guys, which I thought was pretty cool. And it's like he was in a mask and stuff, but he got to be at least in a scene and. And there's just so many things that they've done, like with all these different cameos. I was like, damn, there's so many. Like,
yeah, because they wanted to go out, but like also make it big.
Yeah,
like they made it meaningful.
Because there's just so many.
You can't top that now with a Deadpool movie. Like, you just can't. they had to go big, and they fucking did. Which that's a good way to end the trilogy, though. Like 1, 2, and Deadpool and Wolverine. Like fuck. But like,
God.
I can't believe that. I mean, I am pissed that they cancelled Deadpool 3 for this, but also now that like because Hugh Jackman and shit's in there, it's like that's
yeah. So that was
ending
that was. So what ended up happening was Fox cancelled Deadpool 3 because of the merger.
Fucking Disney cancelled.
No, it was Fox. That's why he said "fuck you" to Fox in the movie. That's why, because
he said Disney cancelled as well. Like, what?
No. So what ended up happening was Deadpool 3 got cancelled by Fox because Disney couldn't pick it up when their merger was happening. So Fox cancelled Deadpool 3, but then he had to work with a new script because that script was like basically burnt because of the merger. So he had to go through this whole process to work with Disney, and that's why he had the whole thing where he's like, "Fuck you, Fox! I'm going to Disneyland," because they fucked up the whole script and they couldn't.
I think if Deadpool 3 happened, there wouldn't have been no Wolverine or anything.
No, it definitely wasn't. It was going to be a completely different movie. But because it was a Disney movie, they wanted to do this whole kind of like send-off for characters. And yeah, they end up doing more of a send-off for characters and this whole nostalgia thing and all that kind of fun stuff and crazy fun ride. So because of that script ended up being scrapped completely. Like, unfortunately, they had to drop it because that was...
It's just sad that we'll get no more standalone Deadpool movies.
I mean, we might, but it will be different.
No, he'll be cameoing and stuff like that.
So it's one of those things. But there was
he'll be in other movies. He won't have his
own
movie now.
But there was also the joke too. There was extra jokes that they had with the Cavalrine that they were talking about. So why his sideburns were more different. Where he technically didn't have a mustache because there was a joke in there. He was going to say about the mustache because of the whole CGI mustache thing from Superman. So that was a reference. That's why he had no mustache. So that was a reference to that, and he was meant to have a line to say to that. And then the Mission Impossible reference is why he cocked his arms when he did the whole claw thing was because it was a throwback to him doing that whole punching on set where he kept cocking his arms, and they wanted to have that gag, and then they wanted to, so that was their reference to that. So that's why when he goes to punch him, he goes lock, and then he like punches with each arm. I was like, that's kind of cool. And
it's also funny that
they do references to different things. But they were meant to also have more Wolverine cameos.
His hair and beard was from that Ungentlemanly Warfare movie that he kept.
So is it all in line with that? So there's a lot that was going on that they wanted to keep reference to things, but they had to cut it down. So like say the Wolverine cameos, there was meant to be more of those. They had to cut that back.
Yeah, there was meant to be Daniel Radcliffe and all like.
So there's meant to be other actors and stuff, but they ended up having to cut it back because it was too much. And again, they could have filmed with them, but again, to have them on screen, that's a different story. So you can pay someone to come on set, but then once they're on scene, then they're going to have residuals every time they're like, because it's on scene screen, so they're going to pay a contract, and then if they can't get that.
But I'm still adamant that. Oh, now I'm thinking about it, they could have Daniel Radcliffe could be the son.
They could do that, actually. That would be kind of interesting.
Because when you think about it, it's at the right age.
He would be at the right age because he's older than her, because she's only just like 20-something now. She's in her 20s. And he's at least...
in his 30s.
Yeah, he's the same age as us, so he's like 34, 35. He's around my age, or 36, so he could...
That makes sense.
He could play the son.
Have him, and he's the perfect fucking... look.
Yeah, that would actually work, actually. That would make sense. If they were to go that route, that would actually be cool. Because even though...
could replace Hugh Jackman is Daniel Radcliffe, like in any way, like it has to be him.
I know, because Ed's very adamant. This is why
because Henry Cavill's too old now. Like he's too old to play Wolverine.
That's exactly my point. Like I had a kind of an argument with Ed.
He's in the same boat as fucking Hugh Jackman. Like...
That's what I was saying to Ed, because Ed's like, oh no, because he kept going on like, why would they have Henry Cavill in the Wolverine movie, Deadpool Wolverine movie, if he's not going to be the next Wolverine? I'm like, that's what a cameo is.
It's a joke. Like it's
an Easter egg.
Fans.
It's like, no, they're setting it up, and I'm like, no, like this is just an Easter egg. You would have someone newer and younger, so they can run longer with it. Cavill is just like, he's already past that age because he's in his 40s. Yeah. So like when Jackman started as Wolverine,
he's in his 30s. Like,
he was in his 30s,
29 or something. Like
he was like 31 when he started it.
No, 29 for the first X-Men movie.
It was only from a couple of years after. So he was, because he's 35 in the second movie. So I think he was like 33, 32.
Well, still, like it's way younger. Like,
but Henry Cavill looks good for it. Like, hey, Henry Cavill looked cool for it. But it's a cameo. That's the whole point.
You only have like
Easter egg.
10 or 15 years of it, and it's not that many movies
Where,
these days.
at least with Radcliffe, he is our age, which is the age Hugh Jackman started basically as Wolverine. Technically, it's his age when he was in the second movie, but look how far he went after the second movie.
Yeah, the first movie wasn't really. The second movie took off, like.
Yeah, but like that makes sense for the age, and that's what you want. You want someone younger to like, unless it's set in a different time where it kind of works for a one-shot movie. Like for example, like Fantastic Four. It makes sense having like Pedro and all that, like, and they're older actors because it's just a one-shot movie. They're not making a second, a third, a fourth, so you don't need to worry about that.
Well, it's not tied into the MCU, like, kind of.
Yeah, it's a different timeline, but it's going to explain, I think, Doctor Doom.
Why is it called Baby Steps? I don't get that.
I don't know, but like
Fantastic Four Baby Steps.
some weird thing. But like that's the thing though, like it makes sense where you have certain characters appear because of the age, and that's why I think they wanted to like redo Blade because Mashal Ali, or whatever his freaking. He was younger. Like I know he's old, but like he's in his 40s.
He's in his 50s.
Is he in his 50s? Is he? Michelle? Fuck.
That's a bit of a trap. Like he's close to he's in his or like late 40s. Like,
so that makes no sense. Like why would you get Michelle when you got fucking Wesley Snipes who's in his 60s going mad for it? Like, which I think like I've been saying though, that's what they're possibly looking at now.
People fucking still love it
because that's what Wesley Snipes recently came out and said, like he wants to do Blade again. Like he wants to, even though I think
they have to do it now because everyone wants it.
Because the more that's been going for it now since this movie did well, like when they hinted at it and teased that he could come back, and everyone said, and I said that they made the reference that he's the only one Blade, and he was
our age.
Yeah,
we want a Blade for fuck knows how long, last 20 years.
Wesley Snipes was all happy for and supported Michelle as being Blade. Like he talks praise for him and gave him tips and stuff. But now it's got to the point where it's like, I kind of wanted him to be Blade, but I kind of want to be Blade now. So it's like,
yeah, well, I think it was
sorry to him
that the movie fell through. Like that's gone now.
Yeah, exactly. There was a lot going on, so I would make sense for him to come back because it wouldn't hurt. He's at a good age, and Blade works for him to come back.
Give him a Logan style send off.
Because the movie they were doing was apparently a one shot movie anyway to have Blade. So why couldn't you just have Wesley Snipes come back for the one shot movie? Especially when it was like a cameo, when they had that teased cameo for Eternals, like
they give Wesley Snipes a new trilogy, maybe.
Well, there's that too, but like we could get the movie because we would have
a movie or two, not
but
a trilogy.
Either way, if we have more traction with that, we've got Blade in line, right?
Could you wait? Could you imagine? We get Ryan Reynolds as Hannibal King in a new Blade?
Oh God!
Like get because it's in the same universe.
Yeah.
Hannibal King didn't die.
I know. Well, that was the joke now. Everyone's saying that was a variant version of Deadpool. That was the joke now running as he's a variant because he kind of acted like him, which makes sense. So, but
yeah, but like you have to get him as Hannibal King. Like, come on.
But
if you bring Blade,
what would be cool though? So think about this: if they do that movie, which is the Midnight Suns, the actual Midnight Suns. Having Wesley Snipes as Blade.
That won't happen.
Have Johnny Bernthal as the Punisher. Having what's his name? Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight, and then having Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider.
And
Midnight Suns is just those four mainly. Yeah. But like imagine that. Imagine having old boy Nicolas Cage, Wesley Snipes, so you got the two old boys there. Then you have Oscar Isaac, who's a bit younger, and Johnny Bernthal, who's a bit younger. So you got two old boys and two younger boys. Well, they're oldish, but they're more younger. So you got
like 30s, 40s. So, yeah.
But imagine having two old boys and two younger boys. Right. How cool would that be? That'd be the perfect mix because they're not too young. So there's that offset. It's a nice balance where they're old enough and then older. Like that would be that'd be the perfect.
Like you still got that generation gap.
Yeah, where it's a nice close gap, but it's far enough, but not too far. It's not too close where it's close.
10, 15 year gap. Or something.
And that'd be cool because you've got Punisher the way his Punisher was, because Bernthal's Punisher was fucking brutal as.
It's the best live action Punisher. Like by far.
So imagine him and like teaming up with like Blade, the way Wesley Snipes' Blade is. The dialogue between those two would be so good, and then having Moon Knight by Oscar Isaac being like semi-paranoid but kind of cool, and then having Ghost Rider just being like, "Say guys," just the wacky nonsense. Like
It has to be a different fucking Ghost Rider. Like, it has to be more in line with Midnight Sun's version, where he's fucking, like, he doesn't give it, like, he just goes full ham.
Yeah. Because
in the Ghost Rider movies, he's very tame.
Because that's what I mean, it would work because Blade would be brutal, Punisher's brutal, so Ghost Rider would have to go brutal, and then Moon Knight actually is brutal, but we got a tamed down version because it was more of a different style of series that they went with.
Yeah.
But we are seeing that they did tease us of that other version of him. But that would be cool. Imagine having that. That would be actually
Johnny
really
Bernthal
nice.
is fucking Frank Castle, though.
Oh, he did that so well. Like, his brutalness for that, like...
He is Frank Castle. Like, he's born to play that role.
Yeah. Like, when he... Like, that scene where he, like, almost died in the thing, and he's, like, there, like beaten up, fucking wounds, and he's just, like, having his, like, almost last gasp, and he's like, nah, fuck this shit. And then he's just been shot the fuck, stabbed, everything you can think of, so much blood out of his body, he's just like, like, and he's acting like this is the end, he's like, no, fuck this shit. Like, fucking hell, like, that's the Punisher, like, no fucking go, like, and I mean, he is coming back, apparently. Like, we've got the Daredevil coming back, that fucking...
Yeah.
What's his name? He's reprising the Daredevil. And they are talking... Like, that's all kind of canonish in a different timeline. But, like, just give us Bernthal already as the Punisher. Like, let's actually
because in that timeline, it is Ben Affleck.
He's in the... Deadpool timeline?
He's in the Fantastic Four one.
Yeah, he's in that timeline, yeah. That was with... What's his name again? The one you like? Tom Jane. He's in that universe. Thomas Jane. So Thomas Jane, Ben Affleck, Elektra, Fantastic Four, they're in that timeline.
But Elektra was in Deadpool Wolverine, that same Elektra.
Yeah.
Which means that Daredevil is Ben Affleck.
Yeah, that's what they mentioned. That was the whole joke of, like, oh no, he's dead, like, we're done. Like, that was the whole joke.
He didn't die though, did he?
No, well, depending on the timeline, because she got pruned, but that was the joke, because they couldn't get him in the movie, so they made that whole joke that he died or whatever, or they separated and she killed him or something. Like, that was the joke, and there's a joke in there for it. But it was
Daredevil movie still probably the best Daredevil.
Because I think at the time,
so good.
The reference was too, is I think they actually dated during that time, Ben Affleck and her.
Well, they were married for fucking like a decade.
Yeah, and during the time, and then they separated. So it was like a stab at the character, but also them separating because of the whole like actual real life divorce. It's like, it's funny the meta, like, levels of meta and stuff.
Like, the original of anything, you just can't beat. Like, the original Daredevil is still the best.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Affleck.
Ben Affleck did
not
that
the
really
Punisher
well.
though, because that Thomas Jane is way different than.
It is a lot different, but it was still a good movie though. And same as the Warzone, like, they're still good movies. Like, they're great, but they're their own take. Like, we said this before. Like, we're kind of rehashing.
They're in their own universe, really. Like, they're their own thing.
And this, it's always funny we do come back to a lot of these things that we kind of mention the same stuff, but it's always interesting when you've got new media that comes along that brings them back up to reference them. Like,
because no one expected Elektra to be in there.
No, and that's what I mean. Like, the line was that they do make
Blade, or
they make reference to the Punisher, like, because I was like, in that movie, like, Deadpool mentions, like, how it's like, what Punisher are we up to now, because of how many Punisher movies we had. You know, we've technically, if you go back, you've had from the start, we've had, like, a Punisher in the old 80s before Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
There was a Punisher. Then we had Dolph Lundgren's Punisher. Then we had Thomas Jane. Then we had that Warzone version. Then we had Johnny Bernthal. Like, and whatever other versions of the Punisher. So, like, they made fun of that. Like, that was the joke, you know. And that's why they couldn't get him in the movie, and he just died because he was too brutal, you know. Did what he did best, you know, kept fighting, and he died fighting, which makes sense for Punisher. Like, he would have fought to the end, and he would have, like, not just sat around. Like, he would have been always attacking that compound.
I'm so pissed the show got cancelled, though. Like, who didn't watch it? Like, it's amazing.
What's the Netflix series you're talking
about?
Yeah. They kind of canned everything because it was basically because it was parallel.
Yeah, but also the viewers weren't there. That's the sad part.
They kind of were, kind of weren't. But it got to the point where they had to stop because it wasn't. They were trying to work it in line with, because it was existing within the MCU, but not existing within the MCU. It got to a really weird area.
In the shows.
They acknowledged the show, like the show
he was
acknowledged
in Shield in that. He was in that, like,
and they acknowledged the events that happened, but it got to a
Shield
weird point.
Is part of MCU,
and
so
they
it's like
and they had to stop because it was getting like to this weird point, and it was Netflix doing it, and Disney was trying to do all their stuff, and Netflix was doing their thing. And they're like, well, we own this. You kind of need to stop now because like the deal worked to a point, and then it just kind of was convoluted. Right. But they kept all the characters and the rights, so they were bringing them over, and you can watch all that now, like no longer on Netflix, but you can watch it on Disney now because they transferred it all over. But they're trying to wait for the DVD point.
There. Like, I want a physical.
Yeah.
Of the fucking Punisher.
It would be good to have all that like on physical because there was like the Defenders as well, where they did that four team up, where it was Jessica
Jones,
Iron
Fist.
Iron Fist.
Was it Iron Fist? Is that his name?
Iron Fist.
I remember that Fist dude. Fucking that show. So fucking
it was
hard.
Daredevil. Jessica Jones. So was it Daredevil, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and Cage.
Yeah, Luke Cage.
So there was those four. But Daredevil...
That show doing well, and they just...
But Punisher also existed in that universe as well, but it was mainly to set up the four Defenders, and the Punisher was just on the side just to have it, have a show. And then all those characters exist in the MCU, timeline. So they definitely canned Iron Fist, because that was apparently did bad. It wasn't the best.
That was very bad.
But he apparently still has his role possibly as the Iron Fist in the MCU when they get around to that character. So like he still has that. Every actor,
all them actors, man.
Yeah.
Like they.
If the time comes and they still want to reprise that role as that
Johnny
character,
Bernthal can come back as fucking Frank Castle at any point.
And that's it. Then they are wanting to do that because it's just, but they're sitting on it for too long. It's just like, can we get that soon? Because
the fact is, they can book their schedule out completely and not be available, when they actually want them.
And that's the hard part. That's exactly it. You don't know what projects are coming around. That's why he does his podcast, which makes sense to keep yourself kind of doing, and you do the sponsors, so you got flow of income doing stuff, so you're on the easy side while projects come and go. And
as they say, the fucking movie business ain't easy. You're not guaranteed anything.
No, it's all over the place. You could have a role, but then things could change because something's happened.
Look at fucking Jonathan Majors.
And that's it.
He lost his biggest role ever, like Kang. He lost it just like that.
Because of what happened, they dropped him so quickly, and then,
Well, he did fuck up.
Yeah.
At least he owned it. He owned up to it. And so, he did deserve to get dropped.
But even then, Disney dropped him before even anything was confirmed. That was the crazy thing. They just straight up dropped him straight away. It was
fucking Johnny Depp though. They dropped Johnny Depp. And he was fucking innocent. Well, I mean, Jonathan Majors wasn't innocent, but Johnny Depp.
Oh,
was.
Okay. So he has a large part of that. Holy shit! So that Daredevil Born Again, he is the Punisher in 18 episodes.
Oh, Johnny Bernthal.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So he's basically in it. He's in Daredevil.
Hang on. So he should have a lawyer there, does he? Deadpool.
Yeah, every how many episodes in total? Every episode. It has him.
Does Frank Castle have a lawyer though? Does he
I don't know. One? But yeah, it has episode 1, 2, 3. It's a full 18 episode series, and he's listed as Frank Castle, the Punisher, in every episode. So that's gonna be interesting.
We're getting him back.
So hopefully from there we get,
we're getting him back, man.
Because was he done?
Because that's in the MCU officially. That the Daredevil show,
and it's a different version from the She-Hulk version, apparently.
Thank fuck, She-Hulk got cancelled.
Because that was that weird. So we got the yellow suit.
I am sad that people lost their job. That movie was that show was trash.
That ended up being more like that weird Fever rewrite because she broke the fourth wall towards the end, and when she kind of rewrote the ending, she made him appear. So it's not exactly canon that it's the canon version. It's just he appeared because she fruitioned him to exist at the end. It got to a weird point where once the end came, everything that happened at the end of the movie was she wished it into existence kind of thing because she broke the fourth wall. It could be the fourth wall. But she, wished it into existence. You know, thought it into existence, so
Dude,
everything
that was
happened the way.
done so badly compared to what Deadpool does. Like that show was just so poorly
Oh,
executed.
he's in The Bear. Johnny Bernthal's in The Bear.
Yeah,
The Bear's a good series. I watched a bit of it.
he's in a lot of things, man. Like he's in a lot of
But
things.
yeah, he's in 5 episodes of The Bear. It's an interesting show about that, the cooks and chefs, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about it, but yeah,
The Accountant too. What the fuck?
the accountant too, like the Ben Affleck thing.
Yeah, Ben Affleck. Ben
The accountant
Affleck,
too.
Ben Affleck, Johnny Bernthal, and J.K. Simmons.
Holy
It's
fuck!
in post production, expected for April 2025.
What a cast that is. Like that first movie was bloody good too.
Cynthia
Like
Ada.
say what you will about Ben Affleck, but he can fucking act.
He can act and he can write.
Yep.
Or produce or whatever. Like, he's a good director, producer, writer. Like, he actually is a really good, like...
It's just he's just not a good human being because he's very
Oh, I mean, he's cleaned himself up a lot. He went through a lot of
he's
different
very
shit.
angry.
Well, that was beforehand. He has gone through a lot of stuff. Like, he has, realized that. If you watch
he was
the,
addicted to alcohol and shit. Like
if
he
you
was an
watch
alcoholic.
that Jay and Silent Bob, was it the reboot movie?
Yeah.
He kind of breaks the fourth wall in that as a character he plays, but he kind of like acknowledges his own personal mistakes in that, because it was kind of like a joke around, and yeah, he acknowledges, like, he kind of says in breaking like the character but on himself, that like he went through a lot of shit and he feels bad, he felt bad, he had to go through all this stuff, and it was kind of a cool way of like explaining himself but through the character, which was a really
Yeah.
good take, because yeah, he went through a lot of shit. And
Right.
that's why, like, the whole fucking, like I said, the whole Batman thing went all weird, and
Yeah, because he went a bit off the deep end.
it was crazy.
I mean, it is cool they got him back for the reshoots though.
Oh yeah. Oh, he produced the Instigators, which has got Matt Damon in it.
Never heard of
Oh, was it? Oh, and his brother Casey Affleck.
He's such a weird actor though. Like he's so much different.
I know.
Because I recently watched Tower Heist because he's in that.
Yep.
He's a little bitch in that.
Oh, he's
Little
done,
fucking goody two
he
shoes.
produces a lot of stuff. He's producing.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck's producing Keeper of the Lost Cities, Kiss of the Spider Woman, Animals, Flash Before the Bang, Apostles Paul, Thirst, Witness of the Prosecution, The Accountant 2, and Unstoppable.
Yeah.
Unstoppable apparently was completed. Centers around
That's a Bruce Willis movie.
Centers around the life of a wrestler, Anthony Robles, who was born with one leg and won a national championship in 2011.
Dang, that's based on a true story then.
Yeah.
Sheesh. That's cool.
So that's interesting.
No, he does. He has a handle. Because he did that that Ford Ferrari one. He produced that, I think.
Oh, that's an interesting take on a movie. Okay, he's doing a lot of like actual biopic-y kind of things. Because
he does star in his own movies, like
another
in
one's
smaller roles.
Another one's based on a adaptive novel stage play. So that Kiss of the Spider Woman is an adaptation of the stage musical based on the novel about a gay man and a political prisoner sharing a 1980s Argentinian prison cell. The gay man narrates the stories of two fake movies and his own life. That's an interesting movie.
That'd be interesting when it comes out, wouldn't it?
Again, that one's starring Jennifer Lopez. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's his wife.
So she's starring in that, and she's starring in another movie the other one, the Unstoppable. She's starring in that as well.
Yes.
Keeper of the Lost Cities. A telepathic girl must figure out why she is the key to a brand new world before the wrong person finds the answer first.
That sounds boring already. Fuck.
It's just a weird. That sounds like a typical psycho thriller, like
yeah. But the other one sounded interesting.
A psychosis kind of animals. Does animals have a description? Just desperate to pay their son's ransom, a memorial candidate
for fuck's
and his
sake,
wife extort an extreme measures, revealing Dark secrets they never intended to bring to light. That's just a typical.
How many movies are like that? Like
starring Matt Damon. So Matt Damon, I'm guessing, is the guy. He's going to be like, "I've got this. Give me my gun," and it'll be like, "Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne." Flash.
That's what we need, a new Jason Bourne movie. Like fuck. Remember that Jeremy Renner Bourne movie?
Okay, that's not like a biopic film, but
that should never have happened. A Bourne movie with Jeremy Renner was just a bad idea. It's meant to be Matt Damon.
Oh wait, what? What the fuck? Sorry for the blowing. Okay, this is kind of funny. This Apostle Paul. It's a drama. The story of Paul the Apostle, whose blinding vision of Jesus transformed his life. He has dedicated his life to the preaching about the Son of God, as well as written many of the books of the New Testament. The one actor they have casted so far, who do you reckon is casted?
John Cena.
Nope. Hugh Jackman. That's why I said take a guess, because it's the one relative thing we've talked about is play Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, but who would have guessed Hugh Jackman though? Like
Paul the Apostle. He's gonna play Paul the
Apostle. The Apostle's gonna be jacked.
Okay, the movie Thirst is a doco-drama about the global water crisis.
What? Oh my god! I mean,
it makes sense.
Interesting, but what?
Witness for prosecution. A veteran lawyer must defend a man in what promises to be the most dramatic trial of his career. Guess who it's starring?
Johnny Depp. I don't fucking know.
Produced, directed, and starring Ben Affleck. he's doing the whole 9 yards.
He's doing everything for that one. Fucking hell. Producing, directing, like
that's funny. Yeah,
starring. Is he even writing that? Like,
I know, right? I'm like, what the fuck? Small things.
Is
like
he playing
these.
Is he playing every character? Like,
oh god.
Is it like being John Malkovich?
Small things like these. In 1985, devoted father Bill Furlong discovers disturbing secrets kept by the local covenant and uncovers shocking truths of his own, starring Cillian Murphy. That sounds interesting.
It should have been Doctor Doom. God dang it.
I know, he would have played a really good Doctor Doom, eh? But they want to go down that story arc of the whole Iron Man Doctor Doom, which is a comic book.
Which is a fucking cheap way of doing it.
There's plenty of other Doctor Doom
Give us Victor Von Doom.
I know, there's plenty of other different Victor Von Doom comic books out there, different versions. Like, why couldn't we have had a...
Why we got Tony? Like,
if we're having this movie with Robert Downey Jr. as Victor Von Doom, we are owed a different character playing Victor Von Doom. It's not
Victor Von Doom. It's literally Invincible Iron Man. Like, it's Tony Stark with a fucking.
It's trying to claim. He's trying to claim the anchor being from our universe or some shit. Kill the anchor being.
But Iron Man's not an anchor.
No. Apparently, the anchor being from our main timeline might be Doctor Strange,
which makes sense.
Do you know why? Because they're talking about the anchor being is the one that holds universes together, or that timeline together.
But Doctor Strange died though.
No.
But he did. That was a zombie one. No, that was. There's so many Doctor Stranges in that movie.
He was there. He didn't get snapped. I don't think. Did he? No. Yes, he did get snapped. But that's a difference.
That's a question then.
That's a difference though, because it's part of the timeline of events. So if something's set in stone for the timeline, even though he got snapped out, that's still an occurrence of the timeline event because it's meant to happen.
No, Doctor Strange didn't get snapped, did he?
I think he got snapped.
No, because he was there, because he'd filled in Peter Parker.
That's what I was thinking.
He filled in, like, he was there with Wong and shit, like. I don't fucking know. That thing's just as convoluted as Fox's fucking X-Men.
Yeah, Doctor Strange was one of the snap victims.
Oh, okay.
But the only reason people are speculating that he's the anchor being is if you recall the fact that when he saw all the timeline outdones of the universe destroying, and the only one that succeeded was Iron Man sacrificing himself to save the timeline.
But also, he has the power to do that himself anyway.
The only reason that makes sense that what people are speculating that Doctor Strange is the reason he saw that.
I don't think he's the anchor though.
No, well,
it's someone else.
Most probably is, but the only reason people are speculating that because if you think about that, he saw every outcome and the world ended every time, means that Doctor Strange was dying in every one of those outcomes. So therefore, if he dies, the universe dies. So therefore, that's where the idea of he is the anchor being. So that's where that's what people are kind of connecting at the moment.
I think it's someone we just don't expect though, like someone very low key.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting where they're going to go with that because it's all of a sudden that anchor being
It'll be someone
exists.
who doesn't fight or something. Like it'll be someone who needs protecting.
But I mean, that never existed until they did the whole Deadpool Wolverine and then made Wolverine the anchor being.
It's freaking plot armor. Like the anchor being is
they
plot
added
armor.
in there. They go, oh, he's the anchor being. And that's why that timeline's dying because there's no
That's why the movie's like. I say it's like it's a good watch, but
well, that's the weird part when you think about it.
It's not serious at all. Like it's not counted.
Deadpool's timeline is like because he went and changed the timeline. Wolverine doesn't exist in that timeline, so that's why that timeline's ending because there's no anchor being.
This
in that
movie's
timeline.
just literally a fan service.
So what he does is he grabs Wolverine from a different timeline to bring it into that timeline, so it creates an anchor being in that timeline, so that timeline doesn't die.
But that can't happen because you can't just create something like that.
That's what they're trying to get at the movie. But then if he's taking Wolverine out of the other timeline,
do that, though.
No, but then this creates the problem. If he's taken the Wolverine out of the other timeline, that means that timeline dies because they've taken Wolverine out of that timeline. So it's like that.
You can't just make something up.
The timeline where all the mutants died and all those people died. That means all those innocent people that are left alive that are human are all dying because Wolverine's been taken out of that timeline.
The whole world, really.
So it's
the
like
whole universe.
Yeah, so it's just like what? It weirdly like contradicts itself in a sense of them saying that. So it's like I say, it's plot armor. It's a gimmicky plot armor that makes no sense. But
like, I don't think we'll see the anchor being again. Really,
I think they realize that they've just made a random
makes
joke.
No fucking sense.
Yeah, they made a joke with that, and they're just gonna be like, yeah, and we're just gonna skip that now.
Yeah, like it just makes no sense.
Because it makes sense, like. Because people go, oh, it could have been
plot-wise.
It could have been like people have been like, oh, it could have been Spider-Man, but I'm like, it's not because
Spider-Man died. Well, he got snapped.
He got snapped as well. But the fact is, he erased everyone's memory of Peter Parker.
Yeah, so which means no one knows who he is.
That changes the arc of the whole plot point.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's technically why too his face is covered up. But people going on like the whole because of the rights thing. But I'm like, if you forget who Peter Parker is, of course the helmet's going to sit in front of Peter Parker, and that's in the photo. And because
so the anchor being could be fucking Happy Hogan. Like who fucking knows?
Yeah, exactly. So it'd be interesting if they're going to follow on that storyline of like if they're going to keep.
Because coincidence, he just avoids everything.
Yeah. Well, there's two things that we're going to have now anyway. It's either we're either going to have the anchor being...
I hope we don't get no more anchor being. It's just
well, that's what I'm saying.
Stupid.
There's going to be two things they're going to do from here. Is they're going to acknowledge the anchor being or just forget about the whole setup for it.
I should just cut it because it kind of contradicts the whole fucking universe.
And it throws... Then that's just another thing that adds to the whole sacrifice of Iron Man. That's another thing to his sacrifice. It just means like it's nothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I don't know. Who knows?
Actually, I just isolate this Deadpool and Wolverine as its own. It is its own thing.
But
really,
we've been going on a fair bit for this for a while. This is a long episode this week. Did you have your haul there? Did you want to do your stuff before we wrap up? Show off your goodies before we're done.
I can do.
I've enjoyed this episode. More on the.
I said you might be surprised by some of these.
Yeah, I'm kind of keen what you got. You haven't shown me
because you know nothing.
No, it was good. You haven't told me for a while, so I'm actually keen to see this.
I'll start with these. But of course, I've had season 1 to 8 for fuck knows how long. But I purchased Supernatural rules.
Oh yeah, on the Blu-ray.
Season 11, 9, 11, 12, and 15. So waiting on 14.
Yep.
But yeah, like that was still sealed. The 15 one, I was like, oh dang.
Added to your collection.
I do love myself some Supernatural. This is a thingy, but Soul River.
Yes.
It's a holographic cover.
You did tell me about that one, but I haven't actually seen it.
So the holo case is pretty cool.
That's cool. Hey,
Yeah,
that's actually pretty dope.
Shame about the light though.
Yeah, you can't get it properly. Get a photo of that. We'll put up on the socials.
Yes.
Take a photo of your haul.
It's complete. I already took photos earlier.
Send them through, and I'll put them up on the Instagram.
And also, I bought another disc because just Soul Reaver.
Just by itself as a disc.
The thing was, they had this,
yep.
but it didn't have. It had a platinum disc.
Yep.
So I'm like,
you have two versions.
A proper copy because
that's what now you got both. Case. You got the original and the platinum version. You've got both now.
No, I found out. I opened it. It's the original. So I got two originals.
Oh, do you? Dang.
So I'm gonna buy a binder and put loose discs in.
Yeah. How much did you just pay for those?
I have to use this.
Because that was like 30, wasn't it? That holo.
Yeah, like $30-$40.
That's not bad. And how much did you end up paying for the disc itself?
Like 10.
Oh, that's not too bad.
10-20, I think. Yeah, like just a disc. They even sent it in the thing. I'm like, it's fucking cool.
I know. I don't have Soul Reaver.
Right, like it's such a good. I own it fucking on PS3 anyway.
I do.
Plus, we got the remasters coming.
I know. I can't wait for that. I cannot wait.
And I'll start with a stack of PS games.
Yes.
The PS2. This is the one I started playing, and it's pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, Black. Yeah, the controls
are fucked.
Yes,
man.
I've told you. They're whack ass.
Why is like triangle like X is reload like
it's all over the place. It makes no sense.
But the game's good.
Yeah, the stuff they did was way more
on Series X, by the way.
Yeah,
on the Xbox version, which I ain't gonna grab, so I can play it on Series X.
You know, the mechanics were way ahead of its time, though.
Oh yeah, that's like
the controls are just a bit janky.
The controls, you can probably map them, but I don't.
But yeah, no, that's like this the physics and all that kind of shit. We just the destruction and stuff.
It is weird though. Like the aiming is weird.
I know.
Like it's got that weird delay. I'm like, no. But I'll play it one day.
Yeah.
Next one was Rogue Trooper.
Oh, you got the original OG?
Yeah, the original. So I got the PS4 remaster, and now I got this one. So I'm like,
I was thinking of getting the PS4 one.
Also, these are complete and.
Yep.
I don't buy incomplete unless I can get a manual separately.
Yeah. You try and find the whole lot.
The next one is, remember how Guerrilla made Killzone, Horizon?
Yeah.
But back in the day, before they got acquired, they made Shellshock, 67.
Yep.
For Xbox and PS2.
Nice. That's a good one. Looks pretty clean too. They're all in pretty decent condition.
Pretty fucking clean, my boy.
That's alright.
Yeah, Guerrilla and Eidos. Published by Eidos. I'm like,
yeah.
It is the European because we got the MA sticker. We didn't have our own thing here.
Yeah, no, I don't think we really got Shellshock out here properly. I don't think.
I don't know.
I think it was not like banned, but like it was like.
I think we got the sequel here.
Yeah, it was like a weird release,
but not the original Shellshock 67.
Yeah.
Whatever the second one was called, I don't fucking know. But this is a big one. To go with the original one I showed, Soul Reaver 2.
Yes. That's so good.
$20 bucks.
That's fucking cheap.
Maybe 30.
I need to look for that. I need to have a look online for these.
Fucking like.
They're just so clean. It'd just be nice to own them.
So clean.
Yeah.
I have to, man.
I'll have to have a look sometime. I should just buy.
We didn't get this here either. It's got a fucking sticker on there too, like the MA sticker or It just bugs me that they don't have the things on the spine on some PS2.
Yeah.
Same as the OG Xbox. There's like nothing on the sides, on the front. And the sequel to that, Legacy of Kain Defiance.
Yeah, that was everywhere though. That was crazy.
That was good, but this is an official Australian.
Yeah,
that's not a.
That's what I'm saying.
Sticker.
Like that was everywhere. Like when that released.
Because you played as Kain and Raziel. It took turns of it. You played at certain parts.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all complete. We got one 360.
Yeah.
This is a one. Lord of the Rings, Battle for Middle-earth 2. I played that back
Good
in the day
old,
when it came out. Like, it was amazing.
good old Middle Earth.
It was weird, like the RTS, like Lord of the Rings. Like, why isn't there any more of these?
Yeah, exactly.
It just sucks it's not back compat. Like, play this on the Series X would have been amazing.
Yeah.
But, of course, another clean copy.
That's alright.
Another clean. I'm like, yeah,
People
no fucking
lovely.
stickers or anything, which is nice.
No.
This is an Xbox pile. Have you seen the one steelbook that you know it's one of two, right?
Yeah.
But save that for last. Already got one of these, but I got a Hulk. It came in
Oh
a
yeah,
triple
yeah,
pack.
yeah. I remember you got that
So
when
I
you
got
first got
two
it a
now,
while
so
back.
it's an extra
Didn't
case.
you?
I'm
Did
guessing
you got one on PlayStation? Didn't you? Or was it the other Hulk you got on PlayStation?
this. I got the same one on Xbox again. I got two of this copy.
Yeah, because I know you got the PlayStation one, I think, and then there's the.
I think yeah.
I think it was the other Hulk game.
But this came in a bundle with that Project Gotham Racing 2.
Yep.
They're all complete. Like they just. I'm surprised how clean these are for original fucking Xbox. Like 20 years old games or more. Like try out Xbox Live.
Yep.
Oh. And this was the other one in part of the 3-pack. But Quantum Redshift, like this game is back compat.
Yeah.
On the Series X, I think, or Xbox 360. But yeah, this was 2001. I didn't know about it. I'm like, only on Xbox? I've never fucking heard of it.
Yeah, no, it was one of the.
It was really pretty.
It's like Wipeout.
It still holds up. Yeah, it still holds up. I can't believe it. But got it for like $10. All three of them for $10 each.
That's a bloody bargain.
Bundle.
I need to have a look. I need to have a look online. You get them through eBay, don't you?
Yes.
I need to really have a look.
You have to be careful because some say they're in that condition, but they come worse or better.
Based on the price of like getting a good deal.
This is a fuck yeah one. Got it pretty cheap, like maybe $20. KOTOR 2.
These.
Very fucking clean as well. Like, I can't believe how clean they are, man. Like, especially KOTOR. Like, this would have been fucking played a shit ton.
Yeah.
And they're back compatible with Series X. So
I know the controls in that game are a bit weird. I forgot what they were like. Played it and I was like, this is a bit different.
I thought this was BioWare, but I don't think it was.
Yeah, it's BioWare.
The first one was. Second one's Obsidian.
Oh.
Obsidian, the Sith Lords. KOTOR 2.
And Obsidian can't go wrong. Makes sense because they played like they play very RPG. Like they're the like RPG style. So it makes sense that it's Obsidian because Obsidian always done RPGs. Man, Obsidian should just do a lot of RPGs these days. Just give it to them.
This is a weird one that I randomly found out about. But you played Dino Crisis, right? On PS1? 1 and 2?
Yep.
You know there was a third one?
Yep. I remember seeing it.
Yeah, I only just found out like last week as I ordered it. It was so cheap. So I'm like, yeah, fuck it.
I do remember seeing it at the video store a few times.
I mean,
never actually played it, but yeah.
Still a Dino Crisis.
It's a bit
I
of
like
a
the way disc. It's a green disc. Like, why?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a gem because it wasn't
green?
as popular. Like,
no, it just dinosaurs in space.
I know.
He's on a jetpack, like shooting dinosaurs. That's not fucking Dino Crisis.
It's just random, made no nonsense.
And the steelbook. So what do you reckon it is?
I reckon it's Halo.
You locking it in?
Yeah, I'll lock in Halo.
Halo 2!
Yeah, I know. I know that fucking steelbook. I know that. Did it come with the card? Did it come with the membership card?
I have no idea.
Have you opened it up?
I haven't really opened it, but like,
because that's
clean.
The one where the discs sit on top of each other.
Steelbook is mint.
Yeah, the discs sit on top of each other.
Yeah, I know. Funny thing about that, the post only showed one disc.
Yeah.
One disc.
There's
They,
two.
they said it comes with the game disc. That's
Yeah.
it. So I went and bought that separately for like $10 to find out it's
Yeah.
already in the fucking thing. That didn't show it.
Yeah. What's in the
So now I've got,
what's with the booklet? Is there the
so now I've got 2 fucking collector's discs.
that booklet there? Have you take the booklet out and have a look? Check the back of it. There should be a card. Is there a card there? Any cards? Yeah, you got a card. That's just the book. It was just the pamphlets.
Pamphlets? Yeah.
Okay.
That's a weird steelbook. Like, that's plastic still on the inside.
Yeah. That edition came with a cardboard card, and it was like a lifetime guarantee membership kind of. I don't know what it was like. A Spartan membership. I must say,
like,
it was funny as
Xbox steelbooks have always been fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah,
the fuck is cool. This?
Yeah, I don't have my
Xbox Live trial.
I don't have the plastic sleeve for mine anymore.
What? Did you break it?
I think I ended up throwing it out because I was younger at the time. But I kept everything else.
But you needed to protect it.
Yeah.
You need this to protect the case from
I got rid of that
because it was
just because of how basic it was. It was just a plain sleeve, so I got rid of it. The only one I kept was like the Doom one and the Driver because actually
they're the exact same. That Doom one, it's got that picture on it.
Has, yeah, that's why I kept those on because it has actual artwork and stuff on it. Same as like Driver Parallel Line. Have you got Driver Parallel Lines?
No, not yet.
There's a steelbook for that.
But I'm just excited that I think that is so fucking
that's in really good condition.
There's not one sign of rust on it.
I will tell you now, do not handle it that often because it will get it.
Yeah, because the old fucking cheap steelbooks.
It takes the acidity from your fingers, so
keep it in the fucking case.
Not touch it as often, or at least wipe it down so you don't get because it eats the way on that. Like the Doom one was fine. It's just that one for the Halo one. Don't know why. Whatever they used, it fucking your fingertips eat away at it. Like the Drive Parallel Lines was fine. The Doom 3 one was fine. Like I've touched the fuck out of that. But
I'm pissed that I bought a second. I don't even need it.
You have to get the you have to try and chase down the map pack disc.
Right, when you had the fucking map pack on disc.
Because I bought that, I made sure I've got everything. So I've gone out and like picked them up and stuff like that. So I've got like because Halo collection, you gotta make sure you have everything.
But that was my whole I've still got some coming next week. I'm like, fuck, I did a lot of fucking.
That's pretty good. Yeah, we can put that.
Pretty good for only. So it's for only like 10, 20, $30. Like, I think that steelbook Halo was 40.
Yeah.
Which for that
worse condition though, it's worth it because some people still try and sell from.
Some dude tried to sell one for 80, and it was like it was not silver.
Yeah.
It was very eaten away. I'm like, that's like $5.
I mean, I've seen a couple for like $5-10. I've contemplated picking them up just to have like a shit ton of copies, but I should do that. I should do it.
All you need is one with a sleeve, and that's it. Like.
I haven't seen
have it on the shelf.
I haven't seen many places with copies of Halo.
But you don't need to use that disc at all. Like you don't need to touch that game anymore.
I have contemplated because they are sometimes like $1 or $2. I have.
Or you just go and buy
buying
like 2 basic edition, like the retail.
But I have contemplated like buying a stack of like Halo 1 like Combat Evolves and Halo 2s and stuff because they're cheap.
Why?
Just to like own a stack of Halo games, just to be that guy that's like, I have like, I have every copy of Halo on disc, kind of thing. Have like 50 Halo ones just because, because it's just why not? Because there's always that kind of one niche thing that, someone collects. It'd be funny just to like have my Halo collection and then literally have like a Halo collection.
Dragon Ball,
the one statue of Dragon Ball, just collect that one statue. Buy every version of like that one that's just like available version of Broly.
Make sure it's a cheaper one. Fucking hell.
But yeah, no, I've contemplated like seeing it, but I haven't really seen Halo.
It just sucks that Halo 1 never got a steelbook.
I know. It was before its time. That's why. Halo 3 steelbook.
Halo 3 got a very weird steelbook. It's more of a steel case.
The double side, one side opens and the other side opens, and it's like, and and it makes like a N shape.
Like, I'm not a big fan of that. Like, I'll still buy it, but I'll have an original one to use to play and shit.
Yeah.
Just have like the collector stuff to put on a shelf. Like, just have a display for it. Have like the Halo shrine.
That's one thing I gotta try and set up. Like once I've gotten everything out of storage, I gotta go through my stuff again, and I want to like most probably put something up a bit of a better shelf, or even reorganize the shelf above me and just kind of like put the Halo stuff up there that will actually fit in that space, like the games and whatnot, and just have that dedicated space back again would be nice. Because I just feel like
Halo 4 got a steelbook too, I think.
It did.
Halo Reach, I think, got one. Like that got a whole collector's edition. Like you got Bravo team, like this massive fucking statue.
Yeah, I got that. Didn't have a steelbook though.
Oh, didn't it? Just the statue then.
I've got basically every collector's edition I could get.
I want the Halo Xboxes. Those things look.
I got them as well. The only one I don't have is the 360 one still.
Yeah, the Halo 3 one.
I got to try and find one of those at some point.
Halo 5 one looked pretty fucking good.
Yeah, they weren't too bad.
The Xbox One, but
the Oni, it's the Oni's themed. Because I got the Reach. Yeah. I've got the Halo 4 one. Xbox. I've got the Halo 4 one, and I've got the Reach one, which was the silver.
That makes a noise, doesn't it? Like a different noise.
Yeah, it's a shield. It does that.
Yeah.
So I've got the Reach. That's the Reach one, I think it was. So I've got the Reach console, and I've got the Halo 4 console. Got the translucent one.
Nice.
The only Halo ones I don't have is the Series X Halo console, which doesn't really matter because it didn't really look like Halo.
That's just stars in space.
Yeah, it's just space, which is stupid. But then I don't have the 360 one, so.
The fucking best, if not one of the best ever Xbox designs is that red fucking Gears of War. So rare though, like so expansive.
Yeah.
Like I want that Xbox One, like that fucking Gears of War 4 one,
That's
like,
it.
and the freaking 360 one. That was just a faceplate though, wasn't it? Really?
Kind of.
That was the cool thing about the Xbox 360. You could change the faceplate.
Yeah, with those consoles you could.
Like PS5, you could change the whole fucking sides.
Well, that's it. Do we? Well, I was gonna say we've gone for a bit now. Are we fucking? I don't really have anything else.
What's that like 2.5 hours? Oh shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Do we want to wrap up this episode? I'm ready to.
Yeah.
Fondle on my way.
Yes.
Child. And jump into bed. So.
But on that one, when we're definitely not sorry about taking this time. We're just things just flowed.
We're on a roll this
as
week.
Always. But we appreciate us watching, listening to our madness.
Yes, exactly.
Before I get fucking lose track again, we have been Taylor and Jim. We'll catch you again next week. Bye-bye.
Ba-da-da-ba-da-da.
Bomb.